What's up, everybody?
Hello, hello.
Believe we are live. Yes, we are.
Yep,
30 seconds.
we are live.
What's up, Logan Scott? Fired up, boys. Let me put it on. I gotta put it on. Badass Figures and Customs, what's up?
What's going on?
He says hello.
All right, yeah, we got James and Nathan here. Nice to see everyone. Hope you're having a nice Easter Sunday, a relaxing Easter Sunday here.
Easter.
Of course, welcome to the Out of the Basement Hangout live stream Black Series discussion. We're going to be talking about some recent Black Series figures. We're also going to just talk about some other stuff in general. Of course, I'm Nate. I'm joined with Justin.
What's up, guys?
And we have a very special guest here. Of course, we have David, a.k.a. Wolfstalker25. So everyone say what's up and welcome to David here. Good
Hello.
friend in real life. Known him for a long time. So he's also a collector. And you also do your own streaming stuff as well.
I haven't done it in a while. I've been on a little bit of like I guess, content creation slump, you could say, or like I don't know, hurdle. I'm trying to get over it. So it's been a while since I've done anything.
Hey man, we've all been there, definitely. I know me and Justin have talked a lot about not so much recently, but you know, it definitely happens. But yeah.
Logan Scott says, saw you boys on Mike's birthday stream last night. Yeah, that was me.
Yep.
I was doing a little partying with Mike last night. What's up, Jedi Padawan? Zane Wielder. Sup? Infernal, of course, here.
Yep. What's up, Infernal? Nice to see everyone. And so we're also going to talk about Godzilla vs. Kong as well, since that's the recent hot new movie that's available for free on HBO Max, thankfully, so you don't have to go to a movie theater. Although I would have liked to see it on an IMAX screen. You know, I would have liked to.
Norsky's here. He says, hey, guys, I'm at McDonald's right now. I'll be back home to moderate in about 30 minutes or so. That's all right, Norsky.
Pick me up a double quarter pounder, please.
Hey, metric system, Nate. He's in Norway, so that's a Royale with cheese. I don't actually know that for sure.
It's not. That's not it.
I was gonna say you guys have delivery on command, but never mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got a couple more people in here now. Fatmatic, what's up? We got Paul Berry. And Nate said he watched Godzilla vs. Kong last night. Badass Figures and Customs. 2003 Clone Wars is now on Disney+. Hopefully we'll get figures. Yeah, I was actually watching Volume 2 earlier this morning while I was doing the dishes. So very exciting stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm happy to watch it in HD. Super awesome. And I do want to see, I'm curious to watch like the Ewok stuff, even though it looks unbearable.
God. Here's my brother. $19 Fortnite card. Who wants it? Well, he's always jumping in here immediately talking about Fortnite. Mr. Awesome, you guys see the new Bad Batch trailer? We did.
Yep. Hype. Super hype.
Yep.
David, did you watch the Bad Batch trailer?
When did it come out again? Like a week ago-ish?
Yeah, it was last week.
Okay, I think I did see it then. I don't remember it a ton because I might have just seen it like quickly, like just browsing Twitter, but I think I remember it.
Yeah, super dope. I guess we really didn't talk about it last week, but of course, you know, we saw Rex, Commander Rex, showing up in Bad Batch. Who knows what kind of role he'll play, and it obviously clarified a lot of, you know, that Clone Force 99 seems to be on the run from Tarkin and the clone troopers. So, Justin, do you think that we'll see how they got their inhibitor chips removed or how exactly that worked, because obviously they don't have them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they had it and then they got rid of it after the fact, perhaps. I mean, I don't know, but maybe Captain Rex helped them because he knew about it. He knew about it, and to maybe. But then why wouldn't you tell like everyone? But then again, it kind of was happening as he found out about it. So, I'm interested. I'm sending a link in the Discord right now.
All right, so let's see. Infernal Hippo says Rex re-release, please. Yeah, we definitely need a re-release of Rex. 100%. It's crazy how rare that figure is once again, because it really did dip down low. I found a second Captain Rex at an Ollie's for $5.99 a few years ago. So let's see here. Obi-Wan Kenobi says his theory is that Crosshair will betray the Bad Batch. And then Badass Figures and Customs also says people say that Crosshair left the Bad Batch. What do you guys think?
Why Crosshairs? Because he's kind of like the mean one out of the group. He's the cold. He's the cold one.
We've got Josh here. He's back from Batu. So he was just at Galaxy's Edge. I was looking at all of those pictures and stuff shared in the Discord. That's awesome. I would love to go to Galaxy's Edge. I have not been.
Yeah, Fernal says he finally got Commander Wolf from Dorkside. Almost forgot he pre-ordered it. Commander Wolf is a great looking figure. It's a great looking figure. Of course, old clone body.
Yeah, old clone body.
Jeremy's here. What's up, Basement Brothers?
Jeremy, what is up, man? All right, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's start it out with a bang. They say, what do you guys think is the worst Star Wars movie?
Oh, no.
David?
No.
David?
Oh, you want me to go ahead?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Episode 8 at all. I think that's my least favorite, followed by Episode 9. I just don't like what happened there at all. Like the different writers, the different directors, just everything there is just messy. If they really should have just gone with like one director all the way through, and like a group set of writers that worked on them all together, because it just like they had no plan, and you could tell. And I think that's why it's like the most just like disappointing, at least to me. I'm personally a fan of the prequels and obviously the original trilogy, and I even didn't think Solo was that bad of a movie. So like, just a lot of hate that goes towards the Disney movies, but like Rogue One, Solo, and even Episode 7 to an extent are all fine. But 8 was just like, ugh. And it kind of like put a sour taste in Star Wars, like in my mouth for a while.
I could see that. I pretty much agree with that.
Yeah.
I pretty much agree with that. I think 7 kind of like re-sparked my hope, and then 8 just made it all go away, and then 9 was trying to do everything they're trying to undo everything that 8 did.
Yeah.
I want to say I dislike 9 more than 8, but at the same time I don't know, because 9 has like Star Wars porn in it, where it's like spectacle and like imagery, whereas like 8 is just straight up boring. And I think that's might be more of a harmful sin for a movie to do. Thank you for the super chat. That's from my brother, $2.99. Thank you, brother.
Nice.
David Clank is also here. Says, Buongiorno, boys, and happy Easter. Is there an unpainted Boba head under the new deluxe fig, and have you thought of painting it? It does have an unpainted head under it. Have you thought of painting it? No. I mean,
not skilled enough for that.
There are some people who say they would try, but I just don't think you can replicate like photoreal just with your hands, with a paintbrush. Like I don't know how.
I think skilled people can, but we are not skilled painters.
Yeah.
So
we're not.
I think anyone that collects like maybe like miniatures and paints miniatures like 40K figures, I think they'd be able to do it really well, but that'd probably be like it.
Sure. I couldn't imagine painting a 40K figure like that. I just don't even get it. How you get paintbrushes that small? Let's see. And yeah, just to circle back, I pretty much echo both of your guys' opinions. I flip-flop back and forth whether I think 8 or 9 is worse. It kind of just depends on my mood, I suppose. Both aren't good. And obviously, Force Awakens is the best of the sequel trilogy. And like you said, David, Rogue One and Solo aren't bad.
I think 8 just has an even worse thing, just because there's no actual lightsaber on lightsaber combat in the movie either. Which like isn't like a requirement, but when every other Star Wars movie has pretty much had it, like I'm surprised that they didn't do it. Like they had a really cool fight scene, but no lightsaber versus lightsaber though.
True. That is very true.
So I want to say hello to Acid Archer. What's up? 8 was just a dial tone for me. Should have figured. Says, hey guys, what's up? Logan Scott says Last Jedi does have phenomenal cinematography, and that's about it.
I could agree
My
with
brother
that.
says, wow, you guys are so close to 6K. Yeah, are we there yet?
We're 2 subs away. If there's 2 people in this chat that aren't subscribed, yet, hit subscribe so we can hit 6K live.
We are 2 subscribers away. We might hit it on the stream. So you'll see a on-stream celebratory event.
Break out those alt accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh, maybe, because I know you do, because you said it in the Discord before. Obviously, no hate to you. We're not those people. I'm happy you can find enjoyment. And kind of going back to what we were saying, I might say 9 is worse because it retroactively makes 7 and 8 make no sense. With the whole first order, final order. Like, I don't even want to get into it because it just busts it's a brain buster of how the first order in and of itself is the most confusing plot element of the entire sequel trilogy when you really think about how Snoke was the Emperor the whole time. But it says the First Order rose from the ashes of the Empire, but they look just like stormtroopers. You know, why did they make new design First Order stormtroopers, but then Palpatine has original trilogy Imperial Star Destroyers that are not the First Order, New Order Star Destroyers, but they also have new troopers that are based off of the First Order stormtroopers, not the Imperial stormtroopers, such as the Sith troopers that are clearly based off of First Order. I mean, there's tons of other stuff to get into, like logic-wise. It retroactively makes previous movies make no sense. That's one of my main gripes with Rise of Skywalker.
It's kind of funny because Star Wars is a series that really makes no sense anyways, and they made it make even less sense with the sequel trilogy.
Logan says Episode 2 is an absolute blast if you fast forward through most of the Anakin and Padme scenes. I gotta give that one to you.
Yeah.
That is true. That really is what slows down Episode 2 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes Anakin too creepy. That's my biggest problem with it, because I like Episode 2 personally, but it makes Anakin just a kind of very odd character that you don't want to like after that.
Big Bad or Badass Figures and Custom said Big Bad Toy Store shipped my Hunter, but not the rest of the wave. I don't know why. Same thing happened to Nate.
Yep, that's true. I have my Hunter. The rest of the wave I have on pre-order as well for Big Bad. Haven't got a single other figure, no ship notification or anything like that. So I don't get it, but I'm happy to have Hunter at least. The others will come eventually, but yeah, based on Hunter, I'm super excited for the other members of the Bad Batch. Absolutely.
Mr. Josh Pierce says, okay, when you guys do go to Galaxy's Edge, what kind of lightsaber are you building? Have you tested out some looks in Fallen Order? I think I want to get the full experience and pick each individual piece as I go. However, I did used to think that I wanted it to be purple. But then I got, you can see it back there, right over right here. I got Mace Windu's Black Series Force Effects, which is purple. So now I'm thinking green or blue. So I don't know. That's going to be a very hard decision because that is something I want to do sometime in my life. I've never been to Florida.
I will say the custom sabers are pretty dope. I do have one. Luckily, a family member went to Galaxy's Edge in California at the beginning of 2020, and that I was like, I will give you money. Will you build me one so I can at least have one? So they do let you swap the crystals in them, so you can customize them and change the colors, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah. I'd really love to go to Galaxy's Edge and just experience it.
Here's Jeremy. Disney/Lucasfilm needs to stop making the troopers clumsy for comic relief. It's funny here and there. Just happened a bit too often in season 2 of Mando. I could agree with that to a certain extent because there was this scene. It was like, I want to say episode 6. Is that the one where Boba Fett comes back in the slave one? It's either 5 or 6. I think it might be 5.
I can't remember exactly.
Yeah. And there was Fennec Shand, and she was like doing like flips and like somersaults off of rocks, and she was just like killing all of these troopers. And I agree with that because it kind of takes out the stakes of like there being a threat. But you could say the same about the entire like original trilogy. You know, stormtroopers got taken out by Ewoks and by the main characters, of course, the entire time. But that's something I kind of like about. I don't even want to say Rebels either because they're very easily defeated in Rebels as well. But maybe like Solo, like that scene in Solo where it's like the Battle of Mimban. Such a great scene. I wish there would have been like an extended version of that where they really flesh out that battle scene. That's a part of Solo that I really do like.
Right. It's like kind of got like a weird World War I vibe to it, like the French warfare, something like you never really see. Well, you kind of see that in Clone Wars a little bit, but it definitely would have been awesome to see that in live action. And of course, then we could have got more screen time with the Mimban Stormtrooper, which is a great Stormtrooper design in my opinion.
Yeah. Kind of go back to Mando though. They defeated all the Mandos when there was like that huge pile of Mandalorian armor. So
yeah,
Stormtroopers can definitely kill the nameless off-screen characters. It's all right.
It's kind of a shame that you don't see any of that Stormtrooper combat with the Mandalorians at all on screen. Like the one scene that could have made them like redeemable and like actually like a scary troop, and it's just like, nope, off screen, you don't see it. They're still worthless.
Yeah, I do like those dark troopers though.
Oh yeah.
Trashy Y says, I think the reason the Stormtroopers got clapped by Fennec so the dark troopers seem stronger, which would ultimately build up to Luke's reveal and make him seem godly. I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
Oh, David, he says, are you guys still actively going out and collecting movies / Blu-rays and any plans on those old DVD hauls? I know lots of family videos have gone out of business, sadly. Yeah, we don't make that content anymore just because we wanted to consolidate the content on our channel, which has helped us immensely. But yeah, it was sad to see family video go because that was a pretty common stop for us.
Yep. Yeah. And we do both still collect Blu-rays and DVDs. We just don't show them off anymore. I think last thing I picked up, I finally got Evil Dead 2 on 4K. So it took me forever to get that one. But yeah, I was looking over at my new stack to see what I haven't shuffled into my shelf yet.
All right, I have a question for David. This is from Richard. What's your favorite Black Series figure so far, released in 2021? Actually, there's not that much to choose from right now.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, What really?
So,
Boba Fett?
so like,
Moff Gideon?
let's see. I think Boba Fett's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I mean, it's kind of a cop out, but there's really, like you said, not much more to pick from for this year. I mean, if Cody was on the updated body, he'd be cool.
True.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, really, I mean, the Moff Gideon Queel Grief Cargo Wave, that was technically released in December of 2020, but we didn't like regularly see that until really March of 2021.
Right.
At least in our area. But, and of course, Logan Scott says Bo-Katan, we haven't gotten that wave yet.
Yeah, true.
However, we are in April.
I only have Hunter. David, do you have any of that wave yet?
I don't. So I have a majority of them on Amazon and a couple on Big Bad. And I think the only one on Big Bad that I remember is Bo. So I'm waiting on the Amazon gods to send me my stuff.
I feel that. Yeah. Like I said earlier, I've got all of mine sitting on Big Bad. I know Justin had a few on Amazon since we share an Amazon account, but what do you think, Justin? What do you think is the best figure of 2021 so far?
There's also Jar Jar to choose from, right?
Right.
That was 2021.
Yeah. Remember, we got him on January 1st. That was his street day.
Oh, okay. Jar Jar is an amazing figure. I love Jar Jar. I just love the accessories. Even though he doesn't use those accessories,
right?
He does use the booma, but it's like the slingshot one that he uses. He doesn't use like the whatever that is, the chucker, like the whatever that is. He doesn't use the shield either. But they're still so dope. Like the accessories are so surprisingly nice with Jar Jar. But obviously I would still have to say Boba Fett just because of how it was such an immense improvement over the Empire Strikes Back one, with the exception of the cloth cape.
Yes.
I feel like they could have just used the cloth cape from the Empire Strikes Back one and it would have worked fine. But like in my pose right now, I have all of I tried to utilize as many of the accessories as possible. So like the blaster, the flame effect, and then the jetpack boosters. I have them all on there.
Nice.
Because I try to utilize. It's just with Jar Jar. I have him holding the shield with one hand and holding the booma in the other hand. I try to utilize as many accessories as I can. But in terms of 2021, there hasn't been that much so far. Of course, I did get Moff Gideon Queel Grief Karga in the year of 2021, but none of those are better than Boba Fett. So
what else even has released so far this year besides them in the archive wave? Is there anything else really?
Blank.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty much it. This year has been archive waves. There's the Bo-Katan wave, which a lot of people do have, but like we said, we don't. I mean, I have Hunter, but that's it. Like Justin said, Grief Cargo that wave was technically last year, but I only found those figures this year. Do you have any of those figures, David?
I wanted Moff Gideon, but I don't remember if I have him pre-ordered anywhere or not, or if I just kind of was waiting. I just saw Queel and Grief the other day at a Target, and I thought about them, passed on them, went to a different Target, saw Queel again, was like, I was like, I don't know, maybe later. So nice. I pass on those at the moment, but I want Moff Gideon specifically for the Darksaber, though.
Right, yeah, I get that Darksaber immediately to Sabine. That's what I did. But I guess let's go ahead and talk about things we have picked up recently. What do you guys say?
All right.
Now that we actually have some recent pickups.
Yeah, no
for kidding. A change. So, I don't know. David, what have been your recent acquired figures?
So for me, I have a I have a decently large assortment, I guess, right now. I just had a birthday pass, so it's like a lot of stuff came in from either me just being like, it's my birthday, I'm gonna buy stuff, or uh, my mom was like, you can name a couple things and I'll buy you it. And I was like, okay. So I've got the Mezco stealth suit Iron Man, which
Nice.
is my first Mezco figure that I've got, and he's pretty dope. I love the weight on him. The die cast in him is great. I think the only problem I really have with him is he doesn't really have much of like a ab crunch downward. He's got great back, but not really downward as much. But he's cool. Star Wars wise, the only thing I think I got Star Wars wise recently was Boba Fett, which is a fantastic figure and greatly improved from the previous one, which wasn't like that good articulation wise and posability, which is sad, but the new one's fantastic. And then I got Mace Windu from a restock. I did not have him, so
Nice.
he's pretty dope.
Oh yeah, Mace Windu's great.
I just wish kind of Star Wars, Marvel Legends does it, but I wish Star Wars had more accessories with figures, like hands, at least. Because it's kind of unfortunate that there's no, force push hand, force choking hand style thing, fisted hands, nothing. It's just kind of, I wish they had that, because, some of the characters could really benefit from it. Other than that, what else? Let's see. I got a couple Legends figures, nothing crazy. Just like a old 2-pack of Ant-Man, Scott Lang, and Stinger from the comics, and Firestar.
Nice.
And then I got my first. I just started watching Dragon Ball recently. I haven't watched it at all. And I got my first model kit from Dragon Ball for Broly, and then a Figure Arts Goku that I found at a Target. And those are both pretty cool. They're not bad. The model kit actually was fun to build. Made me actually. I haven't built model kits that much. I've only built 2, and that one actually went together pretty smoothly, and it looks good. Scales well with the Figure Arts at least. Doesn't need any painting. It was just build and go. And then the last thing that I got that I enjoy is the Reveltech My Hero Academia All Might. He's way better than the McFarlane one. But he still has weird ankles, and Reveltech, from what I've noticed, really big bulky figures has a weird way of doing the chest to shoulders area. They do multiple pieces, and it looks a little strange. So he looks cool, he poses well, but it does get a little gappy in some spots, which looks kind of odd, I guess you could say. But I think that's most of it. I don't really think there's anything else. I got my first 2 Transformers in years. They're okay. Don't know if I'll go back into that line now though. I might get Optimus and Megatron and be like, I'm done. Just they're on the shelf. I'm done with this.
Mm-hmm. Just have some representation.
Yeah, I started thinking about it, and I was like, I kind of want to get at least the main character, main hero, and main villain of some different series that I've enjoyed, but obviously some don't have toy representation or good toy representation, or they're way too expensive, and I don't want to bother with that.
All right.
That definitely there. So of course, and shameless plug here, but Boba Fett. Definitely go check out my review of the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett here.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing figure. Head to toe. Only thing that I would really like is, if there was a wash applied to it to just bring out some more dirtiness in the figure. And then, of course, Hunter, which I don't have a review up yet. I will be dropping a review later this week. But amazing figure. Hunter is absolutely fantastic. The posability on this guy is seriously insane. And I honestly think we should get some clones on this body, just modify it a little bit. And this would be a really solid clone body. I absolutely love the way that Hunter has turned out. He has knife storage in his gauntlet. Look at that.
Nice.
That's so awesome. Of course, the Best Buy exclusive Qui-Gon Jinn, the updated photoreal head release, which I will have a review up for very shortly as well. I shot it this morning, just got to edit it.
Nice.
But fantastic update. Now, what I do want to talk about with this figure is that Hasbro decided, for whatever reason, to no longer include the Force using hand that came with the original red and black box release. And I honestly think that that is a load of bullshit, because it's a $24.99 figure, it's exclusive, and it comes with less accessories. Granted, the photoreal update is fantastic, and I thankfully have the red and black box release, so I do have the Force hand, but it's the principle. You're going to charge more for a figure, and I'm sure they would probably say, well, the original figure didn't come with an alternate hand, you know, and try and say that it was done for accuracy. Like, I think that was the excuse they gave with Jar Jar, because Jar Jar also doesn't come with the shield.
Right.
But, you know, if they're going to make that claim, then why does Mace Windu come with a purple lightsaber? That's my counter argument to that. If they're trying to be like the original figure, then Mace would have a blue lightsaber. I know I've been on that crusade for a very long time. But,
Jeremy agrees.
Yeah, but the figure is absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm sure it's not the best quality here, but you'll see it in the review. The photoreal update on this is amazing. Easily one of the best photoreal heads that I've seen in recent memory. And then my last pickup here is I finally got my Kickstarter McFarlane Toys Spawn figure.
Oh my gosh.
Took forever to finally come in the mail. I feel like I'm the last person on planet Earth that kickstarted this to get their figure, but it's absolutely amazing. The level of detail on here was worth every single penny. He's got real metal chains, comes with this big ass sword, a big gun, the cape's articulated. Now the figure itself is not very posable. It's mostly a statue with some points of articulation, which I can definitely see people not liking that, but I think it looks awesome the way it is. So it's going to go on the shelf. I don't really need to have a super dynamic figure. I feel like the Mortal Kombat version of Spawn is the super dynamic figure, but yeah, it just completely blew me away. The packaging, the presentation, it was shipped in a box, in a box, in a box. So there was like 3 different boxes you had to open before you got down to the figure and its packaging. So it was like really securely shipped, which was awesome.
Jedi Padawan, he's got to go. Thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate you. Paul Berry says, I'm debating getting doubles of the Bad Batch so I can display both with helmet and without. I'm torn whether I should go for it. Personal opinion here, that seems a bit much. To buy doubles of the entire crew, that seems a bit much to me. That's just me. All depends on your income, I suppose.
I just, I'm torn whether I want to display Hunter with his helmet on or off, because he looks great both ways. Of course, here, I'll just kind of go back to this. You can see his head a little bit there. It's a realistic portrayal, so it's really, like if Hunter was a real Star Wars character and not animation. Of course, right. Photoreal tech. Looks amazing. The helmet's amazing too. So those were all of my pickups this week. Hunter is definitely up there. Now I'm super excited to finally have my Kickstarter Spawn as well. I think, like I was saying, that thing is a masterpiece. It's a work of art. So, overall, really solid week for me. Nice. Lots of stuff have finally been coming, and we were talking about this, just how it was kind of like a Black Series drought. It's kind of been a drought for this entire year, and then now it's just like a thunderstorm has rolled in.
Yeah.
All of the figures are dropping all at once. The Best Buy stuff, the Boba Fett, the Bad Batch stuff, everything's finally coming out. And my wallet is just getting assaulted by all these Black Series figures. But I am super happy. 2021 is off to a great start with Black Series figures. Granted, there's not that many, but, you know, whether it's Ken or Obi-Wan Kenobi or the 3 figures I just showed, 2021 is also shaping up to be one of the best years of the Black Series. And I'm sure my opinion of that will go even higher once I get like Bo-Katan and things like that.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll show off my pickups, but I just want to catch up on the chat here. Norski's here for a bit now. Thank you, Norski.
Norski.
My favorite moderator. The one and only moderator of Out of the Basement.
Right.
Jeremy says, great looking figure. We agree. Badass Figures and Custom says, I don't know why Hasbro makes Greek, Cody, and Bly, but not Bakara and Neo. I agree. I would take both of those. Those were in my, not Bakara, or was he? I don't remember, but in my little top 5 Clone Trooper wish list video. We're up to 45 total viewers, so thanks for everyone for popping in. We really appreciate you.
Have we
Richard,
hit 6K subs yet?
Maybe. Let's do a little live check.
Not to completely disrail everything.
Right. But, yeah, Richard says he displays his Hunter without his helmet and displayed Crosshair with his helmet. Interesting. Oh. Riley's here. What's up, Riley?
Riley, nice to see you.
We just hit 51 total viewers. What's up, everybody? Really regret not back in that spawn. I hope it gets a wider release of some kind.
Yeah, the aftermarket prices of the Kickstarter spawn right now are unbelievable. He's already triple digits. And not just in the ones, but in the 2s, in the 3s. It's crazy how much the figure is going for. I do hope it gets a release of some sort, maybe, you know, a bare bones version or a version that doesn't have as great of paint apps, because you can't really tell on the stream here, but the whole figure has a wash. The cape has a ton of paint on it. It was definitely worth it because it was like $60 with shipping and everything like that. I believe it was somewhere around there. I don't remember because it was so long ago, and it was one of those things where I was like, yeah, I don't care. This is getting bought no matter how much it is. So yeah, excellent figure. But Justin, verdict, did we hit 6K?
I haven't been checking. I've been reading this chat here. Pinoy, what's up? Nice to hear from you. I can't wait for my Bad Batch pre-orders. That Hunter looks sweet. It does. Jacob says he's not a fan of Hunter's face sculpt. He says it looks more like Taylor Lautner than Tamara Morrison. I haven't seen it in person, to be 100% fair. Nate has.
I would argue that every one of the Bad Batch members don't really look like Tamara Morrison. They all kind of have like their own unique look, but have like a hint of being a clone.
Yeah. Okay,
especially I'll do my like Crosshair.
Okay, I'll do my pickups real quick. Of course, we have the new Boba Fett. I got those. Got the blaster. Got the fire effect. Got the jetpack. Got the blast off effects. Got it all going on. Amazing figure. We've talked about it quite a bit now. You guys all know it's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Drove to Illinois. Of course, we're in Indiana. Had to drive to Illinois to secure a Qui-Gon, which just the other day, Nate, I was like, I have some news for you guys. I'm not getting the Qui-Gon. But then I forgot that Best Buy does the pick up in store thing, and it's always super easy at Best Buy. So I was like,
right.
This was more of a figure of if it's easily acquirable, I'll go for it. But if I don't get it, I don't get it. I'll wait for a Phantom Menace boxed release, which you gotta think this will get a Phantom Menace box, and I mean like the new Black Series packaging, not the blister card. I haven't opened it yet. I'm weird about I like to appreciate the inbox look for a few days before I tear it open.
Yeah, and that packaging, you have to destroy it. The way that it's packaged,
it's sturdy.
Yeah.
It's like high quality. It's like laminated. It's like super high durable cardboard.
It's great. David, are you gonna get the updated Qui-Gon?
He is coming in the mail. I got an email about him saying he was delayed. I got super sad, and then I got an email like literally the next morning, and it was like, he's on the way, and I was like, oh, so he's not delayed. Okay, I'll take that. I never got the original Qui-Gon. Did he have a red and black box release as well? Like this is third release Qui-Gon, correct? Or is this second?
It's only the second time.
Yeah.
What wave did he come out in? Do you guys remember? Was he with the Battle Droid? Or was that Mace Windu that was with the Battle Droid?
That was before the Battle Droid. Yeah,
Okay.
Mace Windu was with the Battle Droid.
Okay.
That was before, because this Qui-Gon originally did not have a photo reel. So that was actually kind of a while ago.
So I'm mistaking him for Mace Windu then, because I thought one of them I encountered in a GameStop before, looked at it on the shelf, had it in my hand, and was like, I'm not really big into these right now. Put it back. So, but no, I don't think I ever seen Qui-Gon. He was just like $40-$50, and I passed on him until obviously now, which I'm glad I waited.
Yeah. Axel Anderson, what's up, man? He says, I see Emil in the thumbnail. Are you guys getting into Halo now? I've got them all so far. Definitely recommend. We love Halo. I guess that's something not everyone knows if you're a fan of the channel. Halo is kind of like my second thing after Star Wars in terms of like sci-fi, because we also love horror, of course.
Right.
Halo, video game wise, is literally one of our passions, and this is my third and final pickup in terms of like recent pickups. But I did get the Jazzwares Emil. I've been trying to find this guy recently. Just look how great he is. He looks awesome. This has been a thing forever that I always get. People always bust my balls for it, but I love Halo Reach. It's weird because I'm a Halo veteran. I've been with Halo since 2, which Halo 2 might be my absolute favorite in terms of like multiplayer campaign, but Reach, multiplayer wise, is probably my favorite Halo game. I mean, Nate, you know that it doesn't matter. I could go 2 years without playing, pick it up, and go like 25-0 on Team Slayer. It's my bicycle game. Once I learned how to be really good at it, you just never forget. And it's the first game that I no-lifed, like sophomore year of high school. That's when I got my Xbox 360. I was kind of late to the game in terms of that gen, but I love Halo Reach, and this is actually one of like my action figure dreams, is to have really high quality Noble Team figures. And I really, really hope Jazzwares completes Noble Team with George, Carter, and June, because of course you can actually see Kat right here. She was in the first wave. Emil is now in the second wave. And just one of you guys were talking about like hands and accessories, or that was you, David.
Yeah.
And just look at all these hands. So included, there's like fisted hands, open hand. There's like a pointing hand with the 2 fingers. So that is 7 hands altogether. You get the shotgun, of course, and the Bowie knife. Emil infamously has his knife in here, and the sheath, super iconic look, and of course the knife does come out with like that curved blade thing that Emil has going on. So I was so happy to find this, and I really, really hope they do George and Carter in June, and they would all be bangers. I love the dry brushing that they do on these Spartans. And Nate, we were kind of talking about this a little bit, but the accessories of how like there are other figures, but they are kind of random, nameless Spartans that just have like a random paint job, random assortment of armor, but they have such good accessories, and we're both kind of like thinking about getting those because one of them comes with the energy sword, and one of them, the orange one, comes with the rocket launcher, of course. So I'm tempted. I'm a little tempted.
Yeah, and David, you're also a Halo boy too. I know that we've talked about the Jazzwares figures, and yeah, I mean, I've got Master Chief Cat. I have all of Wave 1, so I also have the white and the red Spartan. Great figures. I love the red and white Spartan. I think it's particularly because I got really good QC on both of them, so they have like decently tight joints.
Yeah.
That is a major issue with the line, is just loose joints all across the board. Justin, you said your Emil is pretty solid, though.
Yeah, this Emil, I can't speak for the entire line, of course, but this one is perfect. The joint, like the cat, it fell off the shelf one time, and it just completely fell apart, and I want to say like 7 different pieces.
That's like, happened to me with Cat too.
As you can see, like I can't even take this arm out, which the cat, you can easily take the arm out. It's nice. Very sturdy. So hopefully that means that they fixed the QC issues. But yeah, super excited to get Emil. Very, very excited.
From what I've seen and heard so far about Wave 2, it seems like they've fixed a lot of the loose joints and easily pop-outable arms and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I looked up a review recently on like the comparison between Wave 1 and 2 Chief, and it seems to be Wave 2 is the same thing, but with just better joints, possibly. Now, then again, though, it could just be like that person's version of that, like that one, because like they're also up in the air and random. Like my Chief from Wave 1 was solid. My cat has like weak ankles or legs or something. My red Spartan was horrible. He had 2 right forearms, so I have like a right one flipped around, and he had super weak arms. And then the white one had, I think, really weak like arms at the socket, so they just fall. They don't hold a pose at all, really. So the only one I had out of Wave 1 that was decent was like Cat's upper body and like all of Chief.
Yeah, my cat is terrible. She's got loose legs, loose arms. The head pops off. Like you said, Justin. One time she fell off the shelf and literally exploded. Like every single arm and leg popped off, and her head popped off. And yeah, and my Master Chief. Jeez.
Sorry, I had my window open. It's a beautiful day here.
Oh.
But of course, there was someone's revving their engine. Real quick, I want to say hi to Rob. He says, here again from the UK. How's it all going? We're doing well on this Easter Sunday. How are you doing in the UK?
Yes. Hello,
What
Rob.
part of the UK are you in? There's so much chat. I'm sorry, everybody. There's so much.
We're just having a conversation here. But what I was going to say, just real quick, was that my Master Chief doesn't have the holster on his leg. Completely missing. It just didn't even come with it. That's the kind of QC I got with Chief. But yeah, I think, right now, everyone in the chat that's on the fence about the Halo stuff, just pick one up and check it out, because it kind of breaks my heart to see them peg warming so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're good figures, and Halo is awesome. I think, maybe people aren't as into Halo as we think, because we all live in a bubble where, the 3 of us all love Halo. So it seems like, it's normal business for us. Like, oh yeah, new Halo stuff.
I kind of just wish, like, I keep seeing the Halo stuff, like the 4.5-inch ones or whatever, the World of Halo stuff.
Yeah.
And they all look really solid, and it makes me want to get them. And then, like, I primarily want to be a 6-inch collector with a lot of things anyway, so everything kind of scales. But it just makes me so sad to see we're getting, like, Jackals and Grunts and, like, Elites and Brutes and stuff in the World of Halo stuff. But so far, the 6.5-inch line is only Spartans, which I'm not complaining about fully, but like I wish there was like
Yeah.
Wave 1 could have just been Spartans, that's fine, but like oh, we lost Justin. But Wave 2, like I wish we had something else in it, like one elite or a brute or something, just to diversify a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel the same way, David. Every time I'm at the store and I see the warthog and the jackals and the brutes and everything in the 3 3/4 inch line, and I'm just like, oh, if I only had the space. Like I could just imagine making such an epic like diorama with all the 3 3/4 inch stuff. It could be so awesome. But Riley does bring up a good point. He says Jazzwares got shafted with the game delay. Yeah, true, because they all come with DLC codes that I wonder what they're going to do. I really am curious as to what the DLC codes that come with the Halo figures are for.
I'm sure it's going to be like just skins or like emblems, because I also collect, this is my primary collection that I do besides Legends, Marvel Legends figures, is the Halo Mega Constructs. And a lot of them came with codes for a while, and they were like emblems for in-game or just like rec packs for Halo 5. A lot of them were just those. So maybe they'll have some sort of like rec pack crate system.
Oh, God.
thing.
No.
I don't
Did
know.
you just say rec pack?
Yeah.
I could see something like that.
Currency.
Do you remember in Halo 5, like the gold thing that was like $99 and it just said in parentheses, great value, or like something like that? Like, it's great. Real quick, I want to say hi to both Davids. We got David C. and David Newcomb.
Yes.
Donnie's out. Thanks for stopping in, Donnie. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of skipping around here. Chris Gutierrez is here. What's up, man? Riley, hashtag complete noble team. I definitely agree. Silver is here. Got Jar Jar in exchange for Archive Boss. Good deal, but hope for Bo-Katan. That is a good deal. That's not a bad deal if you had two, because Bosk is also a great figure. Norsky, forgot to tell you guys I finally got my Mondo Blade Runner 2049 Steelbook in the mail, along with some batteries for my Iron Man figure on Thursday. Nice, man. That my 4K Blade Runner 2049 Steelbook is literally one of my most prized Blu-rays, especially that how the value has skyrocketed on that Blu-ray. It's one of my favorites. Josh has a good question. What are your solutions for when you run out of room? How do you tackle an overly busy shelf? Man, how do you think I feel? Look at this. Look at that. How am I? Like, my shelves are just filled to the absolute brim, man. It's rough.
You know, I'm right there with you too, Justin. Like, we have such massive Black Series collections at this point that I feel like I do a pretty good job of making every character visible, even though I have so many in such a small space.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely getting to the point where I'm starting to think I need to put some figures away in storage. No, not necessarily sell them off, but just put them in storage for now until I have the space to display them in. Like, I already sacrificed my Power Rangers Lightning collection. Those are all in their boxes sitting in storage right now. And except for like a couple of them, like Magna Defender and Lord Draken, a couple that I kept out, the Zeo team as well. But that's pretty much what I do. When I get to a certain point and I don't necessarily want to get rid of the figures, I put them back in their box, and then I just put them in another box. And eventually, when I have a larger space, as I live in an apartment currently, I'll be able to display them all one day. One day.
Yeah. I feel that. That's pretty much my, like, one day I'll have my own action figure room.
Yes.
One of these
Precisely.
days.
That's like the dream for everybody.
Lucy says hi. Hello, Lucy.
Hey, Lucy.
David Clank says the Trinity of Davids. We do have 3 Davids here now.
Yes.
Lucy says, hey, David. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, again, like, I can't address all these chats. There's too many. But I like it. I like having too many chats. We're at 53 total viewers right now. So I mean, this is our second stream where we're kind of just doing a hangout stream instead of gaming, and we get more viewers on these, significantly more. So
Yeah.
I kind of like doing this. David C says he started 3D printing dark sabers because one isn't enough.
Ooh.
I agree. Lucy says, speaking as Justin's girlfriend and Nate's friend, they need a whole basement for their Black Series collection. It's huge. Now she's whistleblowing that we actually don't have a basement, but we're called out of the basement.
No, that's not true. Figure It Out is still filmed in a real basement.
True.
In an undisclosed real basement.
Yes, it's totally not Nate's mom's house that we film at.
Not at all.
Jedi Padawan is back. Nice to have you back, man. David C says, hit that thumbs up, folks. I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with
smash
that.
Like button.
Crazy
I
8.
think on our channel dashboard, we lost a subscriber. It's currently sitting at 5,997 when we were at 5,998.
No.
Pick it up there. I know someone in this chat is not subscribed. Hit subscribe. We're trying to hit 6,000 subscribers in this live stream.
Yeah.
It was someone who hates Halo. As soon as Halo got brought up, they're like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm out."
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Because Halo takes too much skill. As one time we literally had someone tell us that was their reasoning for not liking Halo, was that it was too hard.
It was too hard, yeah. That used to be a thing back in like middle school, maybe early high school. It was the big like Call of Duty versus Halo debate. And now, like Call of Duty is just, it's not even in the question. It's not, well, really Halo isn't really, if you really think about it. Halo 4 or 5, like no one really, it's not one of the huge games anymore. Right. Of course, we still love to play Master Chief Collection. Lucy says, oops, I leaked top secret OOTB information. Yeah. You know what? You need to stop.
She's a whistleblower.
Next, it's our Social Security. David Newcomb says,
gave Lucy my Social Security card.
Yeah. Are your 3D dark sabers for the Black Series or 1-to-1 scale? I think he meant 6-inch scale.
Yeah, Black
to give to multiple characters. Pelican Man, I haven't seen you in a while. It's nice to see you again. Why is the latest Qui-Gon Jinn so expensive? Well, it's only $24.99, but that's because it's an exclusive.
Yeah. But the vintage card back is very nice. I like that it's holographic. Like if you have the Darth Maul and Obi-Wan releases from a few years back, those exclusives, at least the set is going to match. So kudos to Hasbro for at least doing that. But again, them not including the alternate Force hand is still a major mistake.
Yeah.
I assumed that it was just going to be hidden behind the 50th anniversary logo. Like, oh, it'll be back there. And then I'm looking at the figure in the package, and I'm like, it's really not in here.
Yeah.
I just don't get Hasbro's hatred for accessories when it comes to Star Wars. Like, I know Legends is like their probably bigger thing of the group, but like Star Wars is such a big IP. How do you just not include extra accessories with those figures? Mm-hmm. Especially at the same price point. Like, there's no reason not to.
Yeah, I think they always try and make it seem like, oh, it's so expensive that we can't include many figures because the license itself is incredibly expensive and that eats up the cost of the figures or whatever. But yeah, it's hard. You see, we talked about this last week. You see G.I. Joe Classified. You see Marvel Legends. You see Power Rangers Lightning Collection. All these other Hasbro brands coming with alternate hands, heads, blast effects, weapons, a myriad of accessories, and we can't even get a robe with every single Jedi.
Like, it just, like, when you think about it, Marvel probably would be just as expensive as an IP at this point. Even Power Rangers. I mean, Hasbro flat out bought Power Rangers, though, I think.
Right.
But, like, you think Marvel would be just as expensive, if not more expensive, than Star Wars at this point. And their movie-accurate figures sometimes come with, like, I mean, you'll look at, like, an Iron Man, and he'll come with repulsor hands, fisted hands, I mean, at least 4 hands, but then he gets, like, sometimes helmetless head. helmet head. You'll get like 4 to 6 sets of repulsor like effects as well. It's like, and then a Build-A-Figure piece on top of that, like most of the time. So it's like, I don't get how Star Wars, who doesn't do the Build-A-Figure aspect, is like, this is $20. You get the figure with a lightsaber, and that's it.
Right.
Like, I don't get where the like, and the paint detail are like pretty much the same sometimes as well, because they do photoreal for the Marvel stuff as well, and Power Rangers. And Power Rangers comes with like fist hands, karate chop hands, grip hands, an effect for whatever weapon, said weapon, photoreal head, normal helmet. Sometimes with like the SPD line, they give you the little like morpher thing as well, communicator, and it's like, why is that the same thing? And Power Rangers is riddled with QC issues, but
Right.
like, I mean, they still come with a whole crap load of stuff. And then even the line like Halo for Jazzwares, who comes with, like we said, 1 to 2 weapons and like 8 to 6 hands.
Yeah. Even Cat has an unhelmeted look. Granted, it doesn't look good, but
yeah,
still.
Cat's unhelmeted head is unbelievably terrible.
Yeah. Riley says Qui-Gon is $39.99 in Canada. WTF. That's $31.80 United States dollars. You know, Riley, you might have universal health care and all that fancy stuff, but we get action figures, okay?
We get cheap action figures. That's our trade-off. I can't go to the doctor because it'll cost the whole paycheck, but
at least you got your Qui-Gon.
at least I got my photoreal Qui-Gon, so
all right, David C has a question. I have a question I submit to everyone. Will you guys forgive a tiny or no window on new packages for extra hands, weapons, effects, etc.?
This is an interesting topic that we haven't talked about yet. But of course, it's been floating around that Hasbro has been teasing that the Black Series packaging might be changing yet again for less plastic. Now, the only thing I don't like about this idea, I'm all for less plastic, things like that, but I want to be able to check the paint apps on the figure. Yeah. When I'm in the store, that is a major, major thing that I do, especially if there's multiples. I will sit there and I will meticulously look them over until I decide which one has the best paint apps between however many there are there. And obviously, with a tinier window, or even some of the packaging looks to be no window at all, I feel like that would kind of, be a little disappointing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I echo that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably same thing. The only thing I'd want is just maybe upper body to the top of the head visible, and that's really all I care about. Like, who needs pretty packaging when you're an unboxer anyways, and half the time you throw it away? It's like,
right.
The only reason the pretty packaging is nice is if you're an in-box collector, which half the time most of those people anyways buy it, put it on a shelf where you never see it, or in a box, and they're like, well, I have it. It's here. I'll save it for 30 years until I sell it. Like, right. So for just the out-of-box collectors, just reduce that plastic. Do even a Marvel Legends style box anyways, where those have a big plastic window, but like come with a ton of accessories. Like, don't, like, the new boxes look cool, but like that whole like collage mural thing that you could do with all the boxes next to each other, that probably costs a whole bunch of extra to print that like detailed image on there. Like, why go through all that effort? Like, who cares about the box? Go more for the figure at that point.
Okay, real quick, Jason Bourne says oh my god, it's Jason. No, I'm just kidding. It's $50 in Australia, about $38 USD. So Canadians have it cheaper than us. I like this comment because it's the never-ending cycle of our fans from different countries comparing the prices. I don't know. I always get a kick out of that. Because Canadians will complain to us, Americans, and then Australians will complain to Canadians, who then complain to Americans. Which
and the UK viewers are somewhere in between.
Yeah, UK viewers, they're usually somewhere in between, because Boba Vader he always says like, oh, this was really easy to get because there's like certain online shops in the UK where they can pre-order stuff just like we do. Like even like some of those deluxe figures, like that deluxe Cad Bane that literally I missed out on, which that was a UK convention exclusive. But I do agree with you, Jason, that from what I've seen, because I'm also a fan of Fly Guy, and I believe he is Australian. And from what I've seen over the years, I do think Australia gets the shortest end of the stick when it comes to Black Series collecting. I truly do feel bad for collectors in Australia because a lot of the times those prices are. Oh, and here we go. Norski, guys come to Norway. We barely have them, and they're always like $50 to $60. Oh man.
Good grief. I could not imagine paying that much for a Black Series figure. I mean, I never have. Thankfully, I've never had to.
Yeah, that is also true.
Unless it was a $50 pack, like, the Scout Trooper and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and let's see here. We said, trying to go back a little bit. Yeah, Jeremy says Transformers Kingdom packaging has already started to change. Less window, more artwork on cardboard. That's what I see happening to Black Series soon. Now, about your point, Nate, about checking the paint apps, we buy a lot of our figures online, so we can't necessarily check the paint apps.
True. It's blind faith. Because
a lot of the times that's the only way we would ever get those figures is Big Bad or Dorkside, Amazon, whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean, like we always talk about, the hunt is not what it used to be, especially with things like Pop Finder and BrickSeek. You got to stoop to those levels if you want to remain competitive in finding new figures. And honestly, I think just as years have gone by, I feel like the collecting community in our local area has increased significantly.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are plenty of times these days where I will actually see several collectors in a store. Like recently when the Walmart exclusive Super Shredder came out, I was just at Walmart shopping and I saw 3 different collectors with that Super Shredder in their cart. And I'm just like, man, it's crazy. Like you used to never see anyone else out there collecting.
Mm-hmm.
And now I pretty regularly see people out and about. So it seems like it's gotten, at least in our area, more popular, which is also hurting us trying to find these figures. And I think you also get a lot of people switching over from pop vinyl into real action figures. So then, you're
happy.
Yeah. But I think like obviously pop vinyl is still very popular, but I do see a lot of people, they started out with pop vinyls and now they've worked their way over into, I guess I shouldn't say real action figure collecting, but pop vinyls technically aren't action figures. They're little mini vinyl statues,
right?
With mild articulation,
and we have a real world example of that with Brandon.
Exactly. And I think that collecting is in a way becoming more socially acceptable, and the popularity has been increasing throughout the years. So I don't know, David, you actually have some experience working in a store that sells collectibles. So like, what do you think? Have you noticed anything like that?
I mean, yeah. I've noticed that with obviously the collector rise, I had a couple people come in and they specifically were looking to buy. Their question to me was, is there anything in the store that is like sought after? And I was like, oh no. I'm like, I know where this is going. It was specifically a scalper who came in asking of what was hot items because they buy and resell it online, and that's how they made their living.
So we just straight up asked you what's a hot item because I'm a reseller?
Yeah, flat out.
Oh no.
Flat out. I was asked, is there a hot item here? Like hot items or stuff that's on sale that I could buy up and then resell later. And I was like, really? I'm like, this is the first time I've ever had this question asked to me. And I was like, just dumbfounded. And I was like, I don't really even want to answer this because that's just such a it's such a rude habit, anyways. And I was like, I'm like, I don't know. You could check the clearance area. Like, I don't know. You could look around.
You should have
But I
been
don't
like,
really
oh
know
yeah,
yet.
this Yavin Luke, yeah,
Right.
he goes for like $100 online. You buy that one.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
they just
right.
came in asking, but like, I definitely can say that there is a. I mean, obviously, like the pop figure thing, I think got a lot of people in the door for some things because like people watch shows, they play games, watch movies, stuff like that, and they end up liking certain characters, and then eventually they're like, you know what, I kind of want this representation in my home somewhere to show that I am a part of this thing. I guess that is kind of the norm now with like video games being more popular and nerd culture kind of like rising because of the Marvel movies and superhero movies and stuff like that. And it did make it to where obviously now we're getting more figures of just like kind of everything. So people come in with like pop figures, they want those, and then they're like, oh, there's this like amazingly detailed Star Wars, Marvel, G.I. Joe, Power Ranger, Transformer, whatever it is, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna get that. Or like when you, I mean, obviously when you buy a game, you're like, oh, I see this is right next to said game or whatever or movie, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get that too with it. So it just it definitely has caused a rise. I know back in the days of having like Toys R Us around, you could walk in and like there'd just be like everything just kind of sitting there, and no one seemed to be like a scalper at that point. Well, there were, but like it didn't seem like it was as popular then. And now it's like you go into a store and you see nothing. Like, granted, the pandemic might be a big factor in that, but it's also the fact that I think so many more people are buying some of these things now that, and they're being supplied less, that you're seeing obviously that it has increased over the years.
I can see that. I can see that. That's some interesting insight. David Newcomb says, still waiting on my Bo-Katan from Big Bad Toy Store, but they did send out my Asajj Ventress.
Ooh,
that's surprising.
Still waiting on those. For me.
Yeah, I pre-ordered the whole case of 5, and it says April. Big Bad. Let's get that in April. Let's ship that out to me soon, please.
Yeah.
But
speaking of Big Bad, they're weird with their figures, man. I think my Shore Trooper from Wave 2 Archive is just sitting in my pile of loot right now, or whatever one it is. It's like that one's there, but I've had Wolf since like November pre-ordered, and it's like, oh, it's supposed to be January, February, March, now April. It's just like, where is it? I've got the Lightning Collection Green Ranger there too, and it's like they just keep going from month to month, and it's like, all right, well, I guess we'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I still haven't. Well, I had a Tusken Raider. I have one Tusken Raider pre-ordered from the next archive wave. That's all I wanted. And I wanted my second Tusken, and he's currently sitting on Amazon with a June release.
Yeah.
Like, how is that even possible? June.
I think mine, because I don't have any of those archive figures besides the Death Trooper. So I think if I'm remembering right, I ordered, which one is it? Tusken Raider, Shore Trooper, Death Trooper, and what's the fourth one? Do you guys remember?
Tank Pilot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I think I have Tank and Shore on Big Bad. I have a Death Trooper to get a second one on Amazon, and then a Tusken Raider is on Amazon as well. And all of them are just like, besides the Shore Trooper, are just sitting there.
Dang.
Nice. Well, I guess, do you guys want to move into our final big topic? Or was there any other small thing you wanted to talk about, Nate?
I don't think so. I think I'm ready to discuss this week's hot feature film.
So, Duco, what's up, man? He says, how is life? I'm good. We're good.
Yep.
David C. has a Gamorrean in his pile of loot.
Nice.
Great figure.
Love it.
Great figure. And David Newcomb says, I did get my Tuskens from Dorkside and still have one coming from Target. Good figures as well.
Shocking, a Target pre-order actually came through.
Right.
Although I guess I did also have a recent pickup, but it's still in the package. the DC Multiverse Batman Beyond, the Future's End version. That's a Target exclusive. That finally shipped. It's a pretty cool figure. I enjoy it.
I'm going to create a banner.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Godzilla versus Kong. Of course, hopefully everyone has watched it by now. If you have HBO Max or have a friend that has HBO Max, just sign into that account and check out the movie. We're going to talk spoilers, of course, as well. So, if you care about I wouldn't say there's really like anything that's like, oh man, crazy spoilers. Well, maybe one thing, but I feel like most people.
That was also a toy spoiler.
Toy spoiled.
It was a toy spoiler.
Which happened to me. That's how I saw it. Was the toy spoiler, but so David, we'll start with you, buddy. What did you think about Godzilla versus Kong?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I almost wish there was like 20 extra minutes tagged in there just to like kind of maybe explain some stuff better, or maybe have like a couple extra like fight scenes maybe. But I thought it was really good. I think the title is wrong. I think it should be Kong versus Godzilla, because this is a Kong movie 100%. It's not Godzilla based really at all. Like Kong is like 70% of the movie. It's like 5% human, and then like maybe another 25% Godzilla. Like it's just like I love what they did with Kong. I think he's great, and obviously he's like made to be the main hero of the movie, and it's cool. But like the movie doesn't make sense on some aspects. Like it doesn't explain really that well why Godzilla is doing what Godzilla is doing, at least in the beginning. Like you just get set up and it's like it just throws you in, and you're like, it's very jarring after watching Godzilla King of the Monsters and like Kong. There's really no like recap on those. It's just like, oh, we're here. And like the spoiler thing, like, Mecha Godzilla, they're just like, yeah, we're building this. Yeah. Why? Like, oh, well, humans, we don't need Godzilla. Okay, well, did he do something bad? So far, he's just been saving everybody, like, or she. I don't know if they've gendered Godzilla yet in these movies, but like, they don't like explain that well at all. And then you get like one scene of them trying to explain it towards the end of the movie, just being like, yeah, I want this thing, but it doesn't tell you how they've built it at all. Just that it's a thing, and then they just like cut that off mid thing and like kill off that dude, and it's like, what? Hello, you were speaking. Like, can you finish explaining, please? But the fight scenes were all fantastic. They did the what was that like tunnel underworld thing? What did they call it?
Oh, Hollow Earth.
Hollow Earth, yeah. That was cool. Visually, it looked really cool. I kind of wish we would have seen more of that. Like, and also I would like an explanation of where the sun is coming from under there. But I mean, that's another random.
That's a good thing. That's a good point.
Like, it's just like got flat out sunlight there, and there's no reason for it. And then like some of the like ground is just like scorched and lava there, so it's like I would like to see more of this. I would have liked to see maybe another, like towards the end of the movie, like another Kong down there or something, or like more kaiju down there. But like,
yeah,
I mean, that's my only complaint with these movies so far, is they're very like lacking on the big known kaijus. Like we don't see any of them. We don't see like Anguirus. We don't see Megalon. Any of these other ones. I don't know which ones come from space exactly, but like I would have liked to have seen like hints at more of them. There's no end credit scene, so we don't know if there's anything after this. Like they've kind of been building towards this, and they don't show anything after, which is a little disappointing. But like fights were all great. Human stuff, some of it makes no sense. I wish they would have dealt with the dad character. I can't remember his name, of the one. Is it Stranger Things girl?
Oh yeah, Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I liked him in King of the Monsters. I thought he was cool, and they touch on him like 3 times. They're like, "Hey, he's here, he's here, he's here," and then that's it.
Right.
I think I also noticed this was kind of cool. I noticed this while watching it. I believe one of the like military people that's with that character in one of the scenes when I think Mechagodzilla shows up. I believe that's the voice actor for Zavala in Destiny, and I was like, "Wait!" I'm like, "I noticed that voice," and then like they cut off of him, and I was like, "Oh."
In there for a shot. I was like, I know him from stuff. How is he only going to be in like one shot?
Yeah.
Movie? Was he in King of the Monsters?
I don't know if I don't think he was. I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I do agree with you though, David. Like the whole movie is breakneck speed. It is just like as soon as it starts, you're just like going 900 miles an hour, and it skips over so much stuff that you're just kind of like, okay, well, I guess this is happening now, and I guess this is happening. Like, you know how they kind of at the beginning of the movie, Kong's in like a dome, and Monarch has set up a base at Skull Island. And then literally the next shot, he's already on the boat. They're halfway across the ocean or whatever. But I do agree with you, though. I mean, I feel like baseline, the movie needed to deliver on Godzilla versus Kong, and I feel like it does that.
Yeah.
The human stuff, I'm glad was brief. I feel like the director, Adam Wingard, he must have got the hint. And
speaking of that guy was in The Guest, and Adam Wingard directed The Guest, so maybe that's why, directors and actors like to always work together and, have little cameos. Nice. I just made that connection.
That is true. Yeah. Adam Wingard's made a lot of awesome movies.
Yeah.
But
You're next.
Yeah, You're Next. And then also the Blair Witch sequel reboot thing I actually liked. Thought it was pretty good. But yeah, so I think the inclusion of Mechagodzilla was pretty neat. However, I don't really care for the design, especially the rotating hands.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of like, I don't know, looked really goofy. And like you said, Justin, I agree with you that, maybe they could have made him look a little bit more like classic Mechagodzilla.
Like just a hair more like reminiscent of the classic design of Mechagodzilla, like maybe like the yellow eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And he was kind of skinny as well, but I am glad that the movie acknowledges that Godzilla on a one-on-one fight with Kong would absolutely destroy him. So I'm glad that happens a couple times in the movie, and got the first round, like Kong wins because of human interference. Then he's got the axe, but it's like without all that stuff, Godzilla just wrecks him, which is how it should be. I mean, there's definitely an imbalance between the two. One is literally a nuclear lizard, and the other one is a big monkey.
I mean, yeah.
I think that I do like how the representation of those characters works, because like you have Godzilla who's just raw, like power, flat out, but Kong like wins with his like his fights that he does win. He wins with like his little strategy and combat style that he has, because he doesn't have that. Like he's got strength, but obviously it's not nearly what Godzilla has, and I like seeing that. Like Kong clearly, like you have scenes where you just see him thinking in fights a little bit, and he's like trying to plan stuff out, and I like them showing that instead of just two big like dumb creatures duking it out for no reason. Like they kind of were duking it out for no reason, but at the same time, like you at least seen them thinking in the fight a little bit, at least with Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Justin, what are your thoughts? You've been pretty quiet over there.
Well, in my Letterboxd review, I saw this tweet that said, there's some just random tweet that said that the movie is basically like a child banging their action figures together. And that's honestly a pretty good way to describe the film, in my opinion. I really hated King of the Monsters because I think it focused way too much on the human elements of that story and the cringe humor. I have a vendetta against movies having this like dad humor, this like family friendly, like the Marvel movies are super, super, super guilty of it. And it's one of the main reasons I can't like really get into the MCU as much as I would like to. Because I think that any seriousness, any tone just gets undercut by these like cringy jokes. Like The Last Jedi, one of my main complaints with The Last Jedi is every serious epic moment is just undercut by some stupid ass cringy joke. So that's one of the main things I hated about King of the Monsters. And thankfully, they really, really dialed that stuff back with Godzilla versus Kong. So it's a relief to me that there was much less human stuff in general, but there was also a lot less humor. Now, of course, my least favorite part about this movie is the subplot with Millie Bobby Brown and the random like British kid guy, and then of course the like internet podcaster conspiracy theorist guy. And when they go to the gas station and they're like, the clerk is like, is this another one of those internet challenges? Last time I sold those Tide Pods to those kids, I didn't know they were going to eat it. Like, you can just tell they wrote that. They must have wrote the script like 2 years ago or something, and then they just never updated the script.
Well, the movie was supposed to come out last year, remember?
That is also true. But I feel like the Tide Pod thing was like years ago. And it's like those little humor elements, like that kind of stuff. I hate that stuff. And I think that was the worst instance of the cringe humor. And luckily, like that whole subplot was very brief and it was very few and far between, which I loved. I loved that subplot was not the main, because I feel like the main plot was the Kong, the humans trying to get Kong to Hollow Earth so he can get the power. And also kind of going back to the subplot, they were trying to find that conspiracy theorist podcaster guy, and they just go to like a random gas station because he buys a lot of chlorine or whatever it was.
A lot of bleach.
And it was the first store that they go to, and they're like, do you know a guy who buys a lot of bleach? And he just knows, I know where he lives too.
Right.
What?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the scenes with that character. Like every scene she had in Godzilla King of Monsters made no sense too. It was just like, all right, you're just listening in on this other room where your mom's talking to this like leader of this other group, and like you have the microphone into that room with the speakers and everything. Like every scene she's in just makes no sense. Like
But again,
how does she just do what she does? You know?
Yeah, but again, those scenes were fewer and more far in between compared to King of the Monsters. So I actually enjoyed this a lot more than King of the Monsters. I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd because it's basically like dumb fun. It's not something that I would rush to like go get on Blu-ray or whatever. But I mean, it was entertaining and it's dumb fun. And it really delivered in terms of like spectacle, in terms of Godzilla and King Kong actually fighting. I think those were done well. I know like the physics kind of don't make sense, especially if you watch 2014 Godzilla. I think 2014 Godzilla really shows like these are titans on a mass scale. So like they move slower to the human eye just because they're so like outrageously huge. And then they kind of ditched that cinematography style of the slow moving titans. They kind of ditched that in King of the Monsters and Kong versus Godzilla, but I think it's a little better in this one as well. And the Mecha Godzilla, it was cool. I mean, I knew it was going to happen, and I think even if I didn't know Mecha Godzilla was going to be in it, like if that didn't get spoiled for me, I knew like they were going to be friends and team up against something.
Right.
Because you can never have a versus film and have like some definitive a victory and the loser. It's always like the two unstoppable forces have to team up against some great threat. Batman v Superman, like, sure, Batman had him and he could have killed him if he want, but of course, at the last second, it's like, oh, we're friends now. We gotta team up, you know. And in a versus film, you can never, and it makes sense because you risk alienating half of your audience, who is like, are you Team Kong or are you Team Godzilla? But I think it delivers just in terms of like the fight scenes. And I thought the Hollow Earth stuff was kind of interesting. It was really giving me vibes of Peter Jackson's King Kong, the 2005 film.
Yeah.
So there's like a bit of lore, like just with like all the different creatures and stuff, because King Kong 2005, that's like, there's a lot of different creatures and like different designs of like just these crazy, outrageous creatures, and you get a little taste of that in like the Hollow Earth stuff.
Right.
And one of my favorite parts is when Godzilla does the atomic breath and like drills a hole in the earth and then just roars into the hole. I was like, damn, that's like hype.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of hype Godzilla moments, and I think Kong also got his moment to shine. Like after they resurrect him and he's all supercharged and just completely flat out destroys Mechagodzilla. Like, I feel like that was like the bone, since, in a way it was kind of like Godzilla was the definitive winner. Like, he did defeat Kong, but then Kong comes back and has his own epic moment so that everyone's happy at the end of the movie. Everyone gets what they want. But yeah, I feel like, if you've seen a versus movie, you've seen how Godzilla versus Kong is going to go. It's very formulaic, but I don't think it was, trying to do anything other than, like you said earlier, Justin, make it a kid banging their action figures together. So I think what they were going for was well executed. And just to double back to your point, David, on there being no after credit scene, I actually think this is the end of the MonsterVerse, because Legendary's licensing of Godzilla actually ended in 2020. So, and I don't think they renewed it. So I'm pretty sure Godzilla versus Kong is the final movie for this MonsterVerse that's going on right now.
That's so depressing to hear that. There's so many other cool characters we could have seen. Like, we could have seen more Rodan, Gigan, Mecha, Ghidorah, Anguirus. Just so many that I would have loved to seen in like a actually like good CGI movie. But I mean, it's an odd choice, the ones they went with, though, especially the design choice for Mechagodzilla. It's like they built up this and they're like, we're gonna do our own completely weird take.
Yeah.
I wish Mechagodzilla had more in the movie. Like, I thought when like looking at the trailers, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be cool. Mechagodzilla's gonna have like some weird like fake Godzilla made skin. He's gonna be like destroying shit and just like framing Godzilla. And it was like, nah, he's in the movie for like 10 minutes at the end. It's like, oh, okay, so you didn't do what I thought you were doing with him at all.
And spilling water on the console to defeat Mechagodzilla was pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
They're like, water!
It doesn't make sense why he goes rogue either, really. He just goes rogue to go rogue because of the Ghidorah head? Like, okay. Like, that's what I mean by there's no, like, explanation. That's why I wish there was, like, a little bit more. Because, like, I think the Kong Skull Island movie had, like, the perfect balance of, like, explanation and human scenes and, like, badass Kong scenes with, like, him fighting humans and him fighting other random big creatures as well. Like, it was, like, a perfect mix. And Godzilla had, like, the original Godzilla was, like, the scenes that they did show with Godzilla were good. They obviously went too much into the human side, but the military style that the feel for the movie was cool. Like, same thing with King of the Monsters. It had a cool military theme style, but anything with the other, was her name Millie Bobby Brown?
Yeah.
Anything with her just like made no sense as well. And with the mom and Apex or whatever the other group was, like they were all just like, all right, that doesn't make sense. Just show me the monsters and the military aspect. That's it.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, overall, dumb fun, right? Dumb fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I knew it was going to be stupid, and I think that helped.
Yeah.
Like, you know it's going to be stupid, so you go into it knowing that it's going to be stupid. And I think that sort of helps when you can just try and have fun with something and not really focus on like tearing apart the logic behind everything.
Right.
So, yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
There you go. All right.
If it is the end of it, I want to see a reboot of like the Godzilla MonsterVerse in live action, or like live action CGI'd form, and then dive more into those other characters.
Absolutely.
All right, I am removing the banner. Guys.
All right. No more Godzilla versus Kong spoilers. We're done discussing the film. Pelican, come back. Turn the volume back up. But yeah, overall, enjoyable movie. I would definitely recommend if anyone out there hasn't seen it. It's definitely worth just watching it once because it's entertaining as hell. So there you go.
It definitely makes me want to play. It makes me want a remastered Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee or Save the Earth. Like, just remaster it, throw it on everything. I want to play it again because of this movie.
Yes. Absolutely. All right. So, going all the way back, there was one thing, and David, you asked a long time ago about what wave Qui-Gon Jinn was in back in the red and black box packaging. He was number 40 in the line and came with in the same wave as the Royal Guard, Lando Calrissian, Tusken Raider, and Hera. That was the wave he was a part of.
Wow. It's Hera.
What's that?
Hera from Rebels. Okay, I was like,
yeah,
Hera, who? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Hera from Rebels.
Okay.
So yeah, that was like 2016, I think.
I think that's before I was buying Black Series figures. I don't remember when I got my first one. I just randomly found like one or two at like a Meijer, and I was like, oh, I like those characters, and I bought like I had like 2 or 3 figures, and that was it. And I just never got any more for a long time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was your first Black Series figure?
Oh God, it's either Episode 4 Farmer Luke. It's either him, Jango Fett, First Order Stormtrooper, or like Kylo Ren with the hood and mask and everything like that. I think the original Kylo. It's one of those 4. I want to say it's Jango though. I think I found Jango at a Meijer, and then I went to a different Meijer somewhere and found that Farmer Luke. So I got like both of them around the same time. And then a little bit later, I found at a random Kmart before they died, I found I think that's when I found the First Order Stormtrooper and Kylo. And the Stormtrooper, immediately out of the box, his arm broke. Just right at the lower arm, just snapped. And I was like, okay. I contacted Hasbro. I was like, hey, I'm like, is there any way like I could get a replacement or get like something done with this thing? It broke immediately because it was like so old at that point. It was like 2 or 3 years old, I think. And they're like, oh, we could send you something a different value. They sent me the unmasked Kylo. And I was like, oh, okay, that's just going to stay in the box and go somewhere else.
Yeah,
real quick, just to catch up on some chat, we have Francois Maldonado. This week I'll receive my Boba Fett Return of the Jedi. That's a great figure. You're going to be really satisfied with that. Make sure to heat up that helmet. Infernal Hippo says he was organizing his prequel shelf this whole time.
Nice.
I have been getting the itch to do a little reorganizing of the prequel shelf. There's one other I wanted to... Oh, Pelican Man asked, why does the new Qui-Gon Jinn not have a cape or force hand? That doesn't have the robe or the force hand.
Never had the robe to begin with. Qui-Gon did not come with his robe or his poncho. You could have 2.
Oh, yeah. That would have been great to have the poncho.
Yeah, I would honestly... I mean, granted, I would love for him to have a robe too, but if they gave us a Qui-Gon with the poncho, that'd be super dope. So then you could kind of have him in like a, the first battle between him and Maul on Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched the Duel of Fate before the stream, but yeah. So those are some good first pickups for the line, David. Jango Fett was a good figure for his time. I still don't have the updated Gaming Greats one though.
I think I have that one. I believe I do. It's pretty good from what I remember. I think I got that at Christmas time, and I think that one's pretty decent. I just don't like how those old Mandalorian legs are. They're so awful. They don't stand at all. Like I don't know why like it was so hard for them to make like properly standing figures. Like I don't know. I just want to see them start redoing all these old figures and just like use their new updated techniques, or like borrow from Legends and GI Joe and Lighten collection. Like just borrow some techniques from them. Go ask them in the office next door. Like, can we just like see like what you do with like the like legs on these figures so we could figure out what to do with these?
Yeah. Seriously. So, Justin, do you want to give a little GTP Toys update?
Sure. Norsky says he has to go. Thank you, Norsk.
See ya. Thanks for
have a good rest of your day. Yeah, I guess I'll talk about it a little bit. I want to film a video about it because I was giving them time. I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, but now it is April 4th now with no update. So I'll just briefly talk about it a little bit.
I guess for everyone in the chat that's not aware, GTP Toys is a company that is making a 6-inch scale Tantive 4 hallway, which is the ship from A New Hope. Originally went up for pre-order the end of last year with a March ship date. And so far, the company has been completely radio silent. And this is also an officially licensed product. But the company has been radio silent. So anyways, go ahead, Justin. Jump in.
About mid-March, people started blowing up their social media, asking where it is, and just they haven't been replying to comments on their social media. They haven't been replying to DMs. They have not been answering their customer service phone number.
True.
They haven't been answering their customer service text messaging thing that they have, and they have not been responding to their support emails. They haven't made any new social media posts since Christmas. That was the last time they used their Instagram. They haven't used their Twitter since 2019. Their website has nothing new on it. It still says March 2021. Nothing has changed on their website since, months and months and months ago.
Right.
I saw someone say, oh, they're officially licensed with Disney, so that means they have to approve everything they say. But there's so many companies that are licensed under Disney, and they have no problem saying everything, saying any update. I mean, we understand, like, COVID has literally rattled the world as we know it. Shipping, manufacturing, production, materials. We understand that delays are going to happen, but the fact that we paid up front and then we're not getting any update even past March, I just think that's really unprofessional and kind of ridiculous, if you ask me. If it was a pre-order and then charge when it ships thing, like Big Bad Toy Store, like getting a figure off Big Bad, pre-ordering, Amazon, whatever, doesn't charge your card until it ships. So what's up, Sean Solo? Nate got a haircut. Looks great.
What's up, Sean? Nice to see you, man.
Yeah. And yeah, just the fact that there's no update on the website. There's no social media post that says like, oh, hey, it's delayed. It's it kind of gets under my skin. I'm not saying they're taking your money and running because it is officially licensed. And the fact that it's officially licensed makes it even more of a surprise that they would be so unprofessional. That makes it worse, in my opinion, because in a way, if this was just some random company, it wouldn't be that big of a surprise.
Yeah.
The fact that they're officially licensed under Disney makes that even more of a surprise.
Yep.
So,
and like you said earlier, there's no reason that they can't post a simple update letting us know what is going on.
Right.
And I'm sure Disney also wouldn't, just like with the whole Battlefront situation where Disney was kind of like, hey, you know, EA, you guys need to stop messing around and, you know, fix the game. Or like it ended up Disney getting involved. I'm sure they also wouldn't be fans of a company making you pay upfront for a product, which this, by the way, it is $200, right, Justin?
Yep.
Yeah. It's a $200
Upfront.
diorama that you had to pay up front for, or at least pay 2 payments already, which is what I did. I did the payment plan. You pay a little bit right away. Then I paid a second invoice, and then I have a final invoice that still has not yet been sent to me. But it's just, yeah, it's completely ridiculous. They should just be able to put out something. The radio silence is just making things worse, which is disappointing because I feel like everyone, if they were just like, hey, it's delayed a little while, everyone would be like, okay, that's fine. But not saying anything, it's getting people worried, and I think people are justified. I don't think anyone is being unreasonable by showing some concern with this product.
90s Nerd Life says, I think they ran to the Bahamas with the money. And I plan on doing like a more like in-depth video because I want to get all the facts. I want to have all my proof of receipts laid out because I don't want to make it some like slanderous video.
Right.
But it is a real problem. And David C. over here says GDP always had good customer service before and were fast to answer. I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
David C. also says he paid his final invoice.
Oh, I haven't got mine yet. I haven't seen that come across my email.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. It's definitely alarming, but I don't think it's a situation where they're just going to take your money and run.
Yeah.
There's something happened. I just wish they would say what, because like I said, we would all understand if it's delayed. Like, just say it's delayed. It's understandable. The radio silence is the only reason that it's worrisome.
Yeah, absolutely. David, are you getting the Tanta 4 hallway?
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Oh,
is this like a bigger company that's making this, or is this kind of like a lesser known, smaller company that's doing this thing?
Well, they started out creating unlicensed diorama pieces. So they were called space walls at first. And basically they would make Death Star walls for 6-inch action figures. And it was all unlicensed, you know, not official. And then last year, kind of out of nowhere, they announced that they were doing the Tanta 4 hallway and that it was officially licensed. So it like lights up, it's 6-inch scale, it's pretty long, and looks amazing. I mean, the prototype, the digital rendering looked so awesome. And yeah, it was like a $200 thing. So that you had to either pay up front for or pay a little bit at first. And yeah, so they started off, I mean, they were big in the community. Like, people knew GTP Toys for their unlicensed stuff. But now they've gotten a little bit bigger. They've gotten that official license. All of a sudden, they don't post anymore. They don't respond to anything anymore. Yeah, there you go. David C. 36 inches long with over 100 lights.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's huge. And it looks like an awesome product. And again, you know, we're not freaking out yet, but it is just a little disappointing that they're being so quiet about the issue.
I feel like this issue, from at least from an outside standpoint, it definitely sounds sketchy and concerning. And I feel like COVID and the pandemic probably did cause them a big snag. When was it supposed to release? Is it like upcoming, or was it supposed to be out by now?
The end of March. It was supposed to ship at the end of March.
Yeah.
Well,
so
it just said March 2021. So that could have been at any point in March.
Yeah.
And now it's not March at all.
That's definitely like a little bit more concerning. Like you think with, like, you know, in like Hasbro standpoint, they do the HasLabs, which are these giant expensive projects that people buy into. If like the upcoming Sentinel was delayed, or the Mandalorian Razor Crest was delayed for the 3 3/4 inch, like I'm sure they'd be like, yeah, so we hit snags somewhere in there. Obviously, when you're a company, you don't like bad publicity, but like it's better to get ahead of it. Like with the new character that they have, was it the Jax character, Connor or whatever Jax that they have coming out with the boxes wrong? It's better to get ahead of it then than to get something like the Lightning Collection Dino White Ranger that had completely messed up face helmet, and then they were getting like behind on it. They're like, oh, now we have to make up for this.
Right.
I feel like what probably happened with this company is they probably took on more orders than they were expecting and didn't do like a NECA thing with the gargoyles where they're like, oh, we're going to stop the pre-orders at a certain point. Like, you got to get these before then. I feel like they took too many orders that they probably just couldn't fulfill. And maybe they hit a design snag somewhere in the like along the line, and it caused them to like get super freaked out and paranoid. Instead of worrying everyone, they're just being like quiet, which is like just as bad because it's going to worry them more. Because you either got one, two things with collectors. You get the super unreasonable people that are like, I paid for this, I want it now, I want like exactly what they want. And then there's some that are just like, you know what, just it's fine, understand. People are people, things happen. Like, just updates are fine.
Right.
But they don't want I don't think they want the overly crazy collector or person to like just start jumping on this and like then trying to charge back the thing. They want to be like little updates, so then there's less worry, but it's causing more worry in the long run for some people.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Well said. Real quick, Pelican Man's asking if we did a review for Qui-Gon yet. It's not posted yet. I filmed it this morning. I just have to edit it, so it'll either be up Monday or Tuesday, depending on how quickly I get the edit done. We'll see. It should be a relatively short video because there's not a whole lot new to say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's just getting to the point where it's kind of like, God, I wish they would just say something. Just tell us it's delayed, or tell us, just a little update, just to put everyone at ease.
Right.
Yeah, David C makes a great point. If I get told it's coming at Christmas, it's better than nothing. Exactly. Like if it's a long-term delayed, so be it. Just let us know. Just let us know.
Yeah.
Badass Figures and Customs says, are you guys excited for April 9th? Of course. I'm curious to see what we're going to see at the April 9th Hasbro stream.
Fives?
But I'm sure everything's going to leak a week before. So
I'm shocked it hasn't leaked yet, if I'm being honest with you guys.
Yeah, true. It is only 5 days away. I'm surprised we haven't seen something. But I guarantee
Marvel's been leaking for the past week.
Yeah. I bet this week coming up here, we're going to start seeing the flood of leaks for everything.
What day? It's the 9th? It's Friday? Okay.
Yeah, so Friday is when the stream
It leaks by Tuesday.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I hope we see fives. I hope we see whatever the mystery Target exclusive Obi-Wan Kenobi is. I hope we get to see the archive Obi-Wan, Revenge of the Sith version. I would love to see those. I would absolutely love to see those.
I'm so sad I missed on that Walgreens Clone Commander Obi-Wan because I just wanted that head at this point.
Head is, it's so good. Of course, not accurate to the figure, but
nah.
Yeah,
great likeness
though. He was like plentiful for like 2 weeks, and then he was gone.
Yeah, I hate the Walgreens exclusives. They suck. Just trying to find anything Marvel or Star Wars or Lightning Collection for these exclusives is just a nightmare.
I feel like it sometimes goes either way. Like they're either really hot or they peg warm for years. Like the yellow costume Daredevil or that black suit Ant-Man that are still all over it, all the Walgreens in our area.
Yeah, you've got like Invisible Woman, Medusa, Daredevil, Ant-Man that are just like all over the place. Yeah. And then there's one Star Wars one. I think it's 3PO with the silver leg that is he's still relatively findable. I've thought about grabbing that one just to get it, but
I think it's a good figure.
Yeah, it
Those
looks good.
I like 3PO.
No elbow articulation though on that one.
My biggest problem with the Star Wars figures is sometimes with some of these characters, I buy the one and I'm like, all right, this is the definitive one on the shelf. I don't need another one of that same character. Especially like 3PO. It's like I've got the Force Awakens one with the red arm, and then the Chewbacca one that came with the breakable one, and I'm just like, oh, this one's great. I just wish it was clean looking instead of dirty.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great 3PO figure. But of course, like you said, it's got the dirt on it. But at least they included alternate arms and legs. So if you wanted to put them together, you can.
I really want a shiny metallic one. I think I've been seeing I think it's Mafex has one, but it's like $120 for him and R2, and I'm just like, ew. Like, and like the model kit 3PO, I kind of wanted that one at one point, just to get like a shiny one.
Yeah,
but
I have the model kit 3PO. I just have never put it together, but it is a really reflective gold, so that is good.
That's exactly what I want in 3PO. I would like to get an R2 with like a shiny reflective like head, because I know he's had that a couple times.
I would like to see a new R2, a better astromech body, because obviously, like most people know, the astromech body is insanely small. So yeah, I would love to see them do another astromech and bring something new, give us a new sculpt, new body.
I'm so surprised they don't take advantage of that thing and release just more repaints of it. Like make a new body and then just repaint it more. Like, it's so shocking that the thing that I thought made the most of in the 3 3/4 inch line, which was like R2 units and Astromechs, they just don't do that with Black Series. It's so weird.
Right.
Real quick, Manny Fresh 369. Thank you so much for the super chat, man.
Thank you, man.
It goes a long way with supporting the channel. Happy Easter indeed.
Yeah, happy Easter. It's nice of you to stop by, Manny. I know we're always on Twitter chatting it up. So, yeah. Let's see. Jedi Padawan Zane says there's a Krennic at his local comic book shop, but it's 22 doll hairs. $22 for, I don't know what Krennic's current value is, but I personally would not pay $22 for Krennic.
Yeah, I don't know about that, bro.
Yeah.
Is that? I'm not familiar with that character's name off the top of my head. Which one is that one?
That's the Rogue One villain.
Oh, the guy in the white suit, like the white Imperial uniform. Okay, yeah, I saw it like millions of him at Meijer.
Yeah,
it's such an awful head sculpt.
Yeah, that was pre-photoreal. The body was fine, and I do think pre-photoreal wise, it's not a bad head sculpt. But of course, if they ever do make a photoreal version, it'll obviously be a night and day difference. But yeah, I mean, yeah, because chat, everyone, we all three of us live in the same area, so our hunting experiences are quite the same. So I know the mire you're talking about, where it just sat there.
Yeah.
I actually bought a second Krennic because I felt so bad. I just wanted to clear something off the peg, so I bought another one.
Oh,
just to get a little bit off. Sometimes you got to do your part as a collector and buy the peg warmer.
Wait a second. Manny brings up a good point that the reissues of Rogue One characters is heavily rumored with photoreal updates. So you could wait for that probably sometime later this year.
Yeah, that is true.
It's probably when I'll get those characters. I don't have any of the Rogue One figures, I don't think.
The only ones I would really be interested in would probably be like Baze and Chirrut, since they're cool designs and easily the coolest characters in the movie. And yeah, like I could not bring myself to buy another Jyn or Cassian, even if they have photoreal. It's just the memories. The memories are too depressing. I don't want to relive that.
I think the only thing I'd want from that wave is like a K2. That's like it, just for a robot.
I do have a K2, and that's exactly how I have him displayed. He's with the rest of my Imperial robots. And that's how I look at him. It's not K2SO to me. It's just an Imperial Protocol droid.
Well, not a protocol droid, but
yeah,
security.
I'm sorry. Security droid.
I really want to see them dive more into that, like, robot aspect of the Star Wars universe. Like, they've done like all these characters at this point. Like, we've gotten pretty much what most of the name characters, you guys would say, like, at least in the like kind of definitive looks. Now granted, most of them don't have like photoreal, but like they don't really have any of like the like just extra like robot background stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do like, kind of going back. Remember when Tarkin just randomly came with the torture droid? Like, how awesome was that?
Yeah. Later, Paul. Paul Berry's got to go.
See you, Paul. Thank you
Thanks
for
for
stopping
hanging out.
by.
This is a random one, but I always loved this as the 3 3/4 inch one as a kid. But I really would love to see a 6-inch of that one torture droid in Episode 6. That's at Jabba's palace. The one with like the weird like bug back of the head or something like that. I want one of those as a 6-inch.
The bug eyes. That would be awesome.
With the levers. So you can put a gonk droid.
Yeah, we need a gonk droid too. We need a 6-inch
I am
gonk.
so shocked they haven't made a gonk droid. Like,
Honestly.
you think they would have done it by now. It's so just, it'd be so stupid easy. Like, it's just a brick of plastic with legs
Yeah.
that really don't even move much.
Yeah, and the vintage, I actually do have the vintage collection version, and it's awesome. I still have it on card, but just like we always say, like with the vintage collection 5s or whatever, just blow it up. Just blow it up into a 6-inch figure and release it like that. It's fine. We also got another $5 super chat from Manny. Thank you once again. He says he wants a battle damaged Rebels Vader. That would be sick. That would be so sick.
That'd be pretty
Yeah.
Just the little helmet piece missing. I would absolutely love that.
A little Hayden Christensen photo reel.
Yes. Just like the eye, like what they did with
Captain Phasma.
Captain Phasma, yeah. The photoreal eye. Let's see. Pelican Man says this format is fun and the Boba Fett review is great. I just wish GameStop would release mine to me already. It's worth the wait, man. You're gonna love the new Boba Fett.
Yeah.
We were feeling the same way. We're like, everyone's getting their Boba Fett. Like even David, you texted me with your Boba Fett, and I was like, God, I'm so jealous right now. Like I want my Boba Fett. And
It's
he's
such a
worth the wait.
fantastic figure.
Worth the wait, 100%. And to me, I'm more of a Return of the Jedi Boba Fett fan. I like the red gauntlets, so I've been waiting for this figure for a long time.
I love the darker green on him, especially like the scuffed like silver battle damage. That darker green is like the original Boba Fett. Like he's so light green and plasticky looking, but this other one just like looks almost like it's just out of the movie at this point. It's the same issue I have with the Jazzware like Master Chief is like I wish he was just a bit darker green as well, because it just looks better and doesn't look as like toyish and plastic.
Definitely, yeah. Like I said, the only thing I think Return of the Jedi Boba Fett could have used would just be a nice little wash, like the Diamond Select figure. But a wash isn't difficult to apply. But I wouldn't want to do it to a figure. I'd want to wait and maybe get another one. Although I wouldn't want to pay full price for another one. So I'm just gonna keep mine. He'll look a little clean. He still looks great on the shelf though.
Yeah, I definitely like it's Boba's probably my favorite figure that I've gotten from the Black Series now. I'd have to say, like, I don't think any other figure I have tops him at this point, because he's just the articulation on him is like prime example of what it should be for Black Series figures at this point. Like everything works on him. He could get he could get aiming poses. Like that's my biggest gripe with a lot of the old stormtroopers and clone troopers. They can't aim down their rifles like at all, and it's like that's like the number one thing they should be doing, and they can't do it. Same thing with any of like the Han Solo and all these other characters. They can't aim anything. Like it just looks so wonky just to have this one random arm like stiff armed up in the air.
Yeah.
Like you can't pose them like dynamically at all.
Yeah. The new Boba Fett is absolutely borderline perfect when it comes to articulation. You get the viewfinder, of course you get that double neck peg, the gauntlet rotation, of course, gauntlet rotation, it's back. Justin, everyone in the chat is saying that you farted when you got up. Care to elaborate on that?
I deny that. I deny that.
The allegations.
I would be truthful. I would be honest if I did, but I did not.
It was just your chair. It was just the chair.
Yeah, I got a little, standard office chair here.
Yeah.
It makes some noise.
Zane said, "Hey guys, do you think Sabine and Kanan would be good deluxes?" It depends on what they would come with. Obviously, I think Kanan could be a potential deluxe figure because you could give him the masked look. You could give him the blind eye look. Definitely could give him alternate hands for sure.
Yeah, Kanan would be a really good one. They could do like 3 to 4 heads with him. They could do they could do like the same photoreal head that we've gotten already. They could do the one with the mask. They could do like the bearded blind look. I don't think, did he have like the longer beard without being blind at all? Or was that just when he was blind?
No, I think it's just blind.
Yeah, so the blind look with the beard, and then they could do even the last appearance of him with the shaved face and the blind eyes as well. So you could get 4 different looks, or just do the 3 and not do the old one, and then you could just take the old head off, make sure the head's like interchangeable, and then you could do them that way. Lightsaber, different hands, blaster, lightsaber blade. I don't know what else I could probably get with them. There's probably something else that you can get.
Manny says he's smoking and enjoying the day.
Nice, man.
Happy for you, man. Good Easter Sunday for you.
Yep, got off your shift and time to relax. And I saw you were playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I haven't played Ultimate Alliance 3 yet.
It is fun. I can say it's fun. It's very mobile gamey though. If you played Future Fight, it's got mobile game aspects, but it's not like mobile game aspects that ruin the game. It's like some that actually improve it a bit because they make it more in depth and you could build your characters a bit better. It's pretty fun.
Rob, I do have the Stormtrooper helmet, just the regular plain Stormtrooper helmet. I do have that one, but we actually don't have any other helmets besides that one. Now, if Jeremy was still in the chat, he would be telling us that.
Yeah.
He has the Boba Fett. He has the Shadow Stormtrooper.
Yep.
He has the Mandalorian one coming in the mail. Pelican Man here says, tough question alert. Dooku, Windu, Vader, Stormtrooper. Can you tell me which order you place these in, starting with your favorite of the 4?
Ooh.
Depends on the Vader and the Stormtrooper for one, though.
Well, I'm assuming new Empire Strikes Back, Vader, and the new Stormtrooper.
I'd probably go Vader, Dooku, Windu, Stormtrooper. Vader being my favorite. All banger figures, though.
Okay. All right, catching up on some chat here. St. James Modern Art, what's up? I don't think I've seen you comment. What's up, James? St. James?
Yeah, he was here earlier.
Oh, okay.
What's up, James? Nice to see you.
Badass Figures and Custom says, would you guys buy a 3-pack of Rebels, Rex, Wolf, and Gregor? I think I would, but I'm also fine without those looks. I think I'm fine without those looks of the characters.
Yeah, I would say if they make it, I'd buy it. But if they didn't make it, I wouldn't be like, man. Like, those are super desired looks. But
Soduko says I'm going to Manchester next week. So excited. It's a city in England I haven't been to in a year or two. Nice. Are there any collectible shops out there in Manchester?
Yeah, Manchester.
Jedi Padawan says, I'm surprised we didn't get a young boy Anakin for the Phantom Menace wave.
I don't think they'll ever do a face, like a photoreal version of that character.
That's a good point as well. That's a good point.
Since Jake Lloyd is so...
Yeah.
I mean, rightfully so. He never deserved what happened to him. And obviously it's spiraled his life out of control, unfortunately. And it's a honestly sad story.
Yeah.
But internet, he's lucky he didn't come out at a bigger time of the internet though with those movies, because he could have been what was I can't remember the character or the actress for episode 8 that people bashed on so hard. Yeah,
that was horrible too. Real quick, Manny, another $5. He says, honest opinion on collectors helping collectors. JK, don't answer that. I will answer it. And here's my opinion. Here's the only way collectors help collectors, and that's if you sell a figure for retail cost plus shipping. None of this I need a tip bullshit or a finder's fee or anything like that. You're not helping.
I need a tip.
That is literally an issue. I think
I know.
Collector helping collector. It should be retail cost plus shipping, or if you live locally, retail cost and you meet up with the person. It's so stupid because it's not like anyone is asking these people to go out and hunt these figures and buy them, and then they're like, oh, well, I need a finder's fee because I found it. It's like, well, initially no one was asking you to buy it. You just bought it and then threw it up on Twitter and went, hey, who wants it?
At that point, you're the same as scalping it because you're buying it where someone else can't get it and you don't even need it.
Right. And you're just trying to, oh, well, I'm only asking for an extra $5. Like, that's not too bad. It's like, no, if you're truly about collectors helping collectors, you are not charging any sort of additional fees on top of what the retail cost plus tax plus shipping is. And I think that's the bottom line. And anyone else who thinks otherwise is not truly a collector helping another collector.
Real quick, JHR is giving Soduko some advice for when he goes to Manchester. Check out Forbidden Planet. It has loads of good stuff. We have heard of Forbidden Planet.
True.
Our experience here on the channel. Obviously, you've never been to the UK. I would like to go one day. One day, I do want to go to all of these countries where we have some subscribers / collectors.
Right? And then we'll show up at their residence.
Yes. Free room and board.
A meet and greet.
As long as their areas have Toys R Us, good to go.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Take a trip up to Canada and visit a Toys R Us. Yeah, Manny says that drama, though. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I stopped looking at all of that stuff on Twitter. That hashtag has turned into a cesspool. But, yeah, Manny, you're doing it the right way. Retail plus shipping. That's all it is. And that's all it should be. Zeke Clayton asks, what was your first Black Series action figure? Justin?
Toys R Us exclusive first order Snow Trooper officer with the pauldron. That was my first one.
Nice. My first one was prototype Boba Fett. I bought that at C2E2.
Nice.
And David, I think you said earlier.
I'm gonna go with Django. Yeah. Random Meyer find. Could have been Farmer Boy Luke at the exact same time though. Like they could have been bought together.
Right. Zeke, what was yours? What was your first Black Series figure? And David C, I do agree. He said there's quite a number of us who sell for one another for retail and sometimes just for the shipping or trade or even for a later figure. That stuff is all good. You know, if you're willing to accept a trade, then that's fair. But yeah, again, anyone charging you more money over retail price plus shipping is not truly helping you out.
Biker Scout 74 says, "Dudes, if you ever come to Scotland, give us a shout."
Ooh, I would love to go to Scotland. Scotland looks like a very beautiful country.
Yeah, I definitely want to go to New Zealand too at some point. I don't think we've ever had someone say they're from New Zealand though.
Wow.
But I definitely want to visit New Zealand so we can go to Mount Doom and cast the One Ring to rule them all into the fire.
Yeah, I would love to go see the Lord of the Rings filming locations.
Yeah.
Zeke said their first figure was Ahsoka. Was that the Walmart Ahsoka, or was that the Rebels Ahsoka?
I'm still kicking myself for not getting that one.
Which one? The Walmart?
Yeah. When I ordered them, I had all 4 of them being ordered. It said that because I was trying to charge my card at the time to check if there was space or whatever. It was like, oh, there's no space for this. And I was like, what? Okay, whatever. There's space. So then I took off Ahsoka and the Mandalorian Loyalist, I think. And I just ordered the Maul one and the was it 501st Ahsoka Trooper. I ordered those 2. And I was going to order the other ones. And instead, I ordered like a dummy, the Venomized Captain America and Retro Spidey. And I ordered those 2 because I was like, well, Marvel Legends is my main thing. I'll get these. And then ended up getting Retro Spidey canceled a month later. They never sent him. And they're like, you don't get him. And like Venomized Deadpool didn't come out until like December almost for me. And I was like, just like looking at it like, I could have bought these other 2. Why didn't I get them?
Yeah, I remember when you told me you got your Retro Spidey canceled. Like that is ridiculous.
I hate buying from Walmart.
Yeah,
in store or online.
Either way, it's always a nightmare.
It's
let me see. Padawan Zane said their first Black Series was the Snow Trooper. Then we've got
I still
Stone
don't have
Cold
that
Killer. I had to piece that together. Mando build-up pack. Riley actually asks an interesting question. Had you intended on getting into the Black Series, or did those figures kick it off? For me, starting out, I bought Prototype Boba Fett just on a whim. I was obviously collecting figures at the time. I wasn't into the Black Series yet. But I was just perusing the trade floor at C2E2, and I saw the pure white Boba Fett, and it just caught my eye. And I was like, what is this? What is this thing right here? And of course, then I was like, okay, Star Wars Black Series. It's a 6-inch line. And I was like, this Boba Fett looks amazing. So I bought it. And then I didn't really buy another Black Series figure for about a year. And then that's when we transitioned into Justin's story, where I had started collecting, and then I sort of got him into it a little bit with the First Order Snow Trooper from Toys R Us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I intended right off the bat to get into the line, because after I bought that figure, you remember, Nate, I went down the rabbit hole.
You went down the rabbit hole hard.
Of playing catch-up on the Black Series. And I was just I spent a lot of money back during those times. And that's when I was working at the theater.
True. When we were making pennies.
Minimum wage. And I was going crazy.
Yeah.
Real quick, David C. says those Walmart exclusives gave me nightmares. Dude, that was the most idiotic thing Hasbro has ever done.
I don't understand why they made an entire wave of desirable figures exclusive to one horrible place. Like, split it up at least. Like, one Best Buy, one Target, one Walmart at that point. Don't just do all Walmart, which is already an unreliable retailer.
Yeah, that was horrible. Pelican Man says, guys, I'm new to the collecting. Do you think Hasbro really listens to the community? Or do they just do what they do, and if it just works out? I think they listen to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Because they did have a poll that says, would you pay more for more accessories? We all say yes, and now we're getting like the deluxe Jar Jar, deluxe Boba Fett, the armor, the Cad Bane, stuff like that.
Yeah, they 100% listen. From what I've seen with the Legends guys, those guys specifically go on like Reddit and fan like places sometimes, and I look at lists of like these are characters that haven't been made before. So I'm sure if the Legends guys are doing it, the Star Wars guys are also doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Duco1 says, I have a good question. I think. What do you guys do in spare time? That's an interesting question. Working those full-time hours, working full-time takes up a lot of your time.
Yep. Full-time job.
On a week-to-week basis. And then, we do a lot of editing. We also, Nate and I, have girlfriends that we spend time with as well. But if you're just mean like other hobbies, we love video games. I love bowling. I'm a big bowler boy. I follow the Professional Bowlers Association. I watch PBA. But hunting, collecting, editing.
Yep.
Editing takes up a large chunk of time. So, just various stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I really like to play guitar, and I've recently been getting back on the old skateboard.
That is true.
Busting a couple tricks out when it's when the weather's nice enough and I'm not tired from work, which is every so often.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Where are we at in the chat?
Yeah, it's kind of blowing up right now. I can't keep up with it. Mainly says on my spare time, wife, 6 dogs, NFL, some gaming, toy shows, cons, yard work. That is, that's interesting you say that because the neighbor's mowing their lawn, so I'm getting ideas. Now I got to start mowing the lawn all over again.
Yep. No yard work for me. Not at the moment, anyways. Zeke asks, what is your favorite line to collect? David?
Probably Marvel Legends. I would say I'm a big Marvel fan. I was introduced to it with the very first Toy Biz line and Wave 1 Iron Man with my parents. And I just recently found out from my dad. He's like, I primarily bought these for you, but also for me because I thought they looked cool. And then it just like snowballed from there, and I've collected it like every year since, except for like the dark days of Hasbro first taking over. And so Legends I would say, but like primarily like I kind of just go with like Iron Man at this point. I'm a big person with like, you give me a cool looking armored character and I'll jump into it. That's my main go-to for Halos. Like I love the armor design. I love the troopers for Star Wars and robots as well. So like robots, Star Wars got that going for me. And then Marvel just does like such a good job with the Iron Man figures, specifically in armored characters, that it makes me love that line. But I'm loving the Jazzware Halo stuff though. I just wish it was easier to find and at more places.
Right.
Yeah,
and they had more of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Justin? I think it's obvious.
Easily the Black Series. I also collect NECA. A lot of horror NECA stuff. I also have some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles NECA stuff, but mostly horror NECA stuff, so it's not like something I'm always collecting. But Black Series, 100%.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I would say Black Series is my bread and butter. NECA in general is definitely my second because I've got NECA Godzilla, NECA Horror. I'm really into the Toonie Terrors, the 8-inch cloth goods line from NECA. I've got the Turtles. I've got a bunch of Predators as well. After that, I do have a small Marvel Legends collection. I sold off most of my Marvel Legends, but I did keep almost every single one of my Spider-Man Legends. So I still have I've got some heavy hitters. Like I have the Sandman Build-A-Figure, Black Suit Spider-Man. That new Retro Kingpin was awesome. I have that one.
It was pretty good.
The new Carnage is amazing as well. I love the new Carnage figure. I have things like the Netflix Daredevil figure. 80th anniversary Iron Man, I think, is a fantastic figure. The latest deluxe War Machine from Marvel
Those two
Legends
are fantastic.
Yeah. Of course, let me see. Recently, the Halo line, of course. I also dipped my toes into Mythic Legions as well, which just have one Mythic Legions figure, but super dope. Love it. I do still have a few X-Men Legends as well, like Blue Beast. That's probably my crown jewel of the X-Men Legends collection that I still have.
Hasbro one or the OG Toy Biz one?
Hasbro one.
Okay.
Which, great articulation, so.
Yeah. I like how well Hasbro does, especially with the Marvel team, with like their bigger, bulky characters.
Yeah.
Like, they could get a little bit more forward with like butterfly joints, probably. Like, that's probably like one of the only improvements they could do. But like, they pose up pretty damn well, and they move pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, I completely glossed over McFarlane DC Multiverse.
Yeah.
I went completely off the deep end with that line. I love the McFarlane DC Multiverse stuff. There's definitely room for improvement in the DC Multiverse, but they are so much better than what Mattel was cranking out, even what DC Collectibles is cranking out. So I'm happy that we finally have mostly decent, well-articulated DC figures that are affordable. Because obviously there's really great ones from like Mayfex and Mezco, but obviously those are higher end. Those are super higher end figures. I know Manny was saying he hates McFarlane articulation and scale, and Manny said he got the trilogy spawn and hated it. Well, Manny, if you want to unload it for retail price, why don't you hit me up? We talked about the Kickstarter spawn a little bit earlier in the chat or in the stream. I showed mine off. I finally got my classic version of the character. Let's see, Badass Figures and Customs. What's your guys' favorite member from the Bad Batch?
I really like the design of Crosshair.
Yeah, I would say Crosshair right now.
I think I like Wrecker a lot.
Yeah.
At least I like how he's big and bulky. Otherwise, it'd probably be, Crosshair as well is also a good one, I think.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of the sniping characters. Whether it's June from Reach, or the one guy from Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Means you like Hawkeye, correct?
To some degree. I like Hawkeye.
All right, here's a good question, and I kind of want to wrap it up because I do have a little Easter dinner that I have to go to.
All
but
right.
I think this is a good. Yeah, sorry if you guys wanted to keep going. I know this is from my perspective because I'm the one streaming. But this is a good note to end it on. Pelican says, "Hey guys, the guy joining you, David, does he have a channel?" So, Mr. Wolfstalker25, do you want to maybe explain a little about your channel?
I have a YouTube channel and I have a Twitch channel as well. I haven't done a lot on YouTube lately. I primarily started it in 2013, right out of high school, as like a boredom thing, and we started doing like Minecraft gaming content, like everyone else did at the time. And then I kept up with it until like 2016. Like I was in college at the time, so I was like, I'd do a video, like maybe like 5-6 videos of like a little mini series that I'd try to do. Wouldn't do really well. Would like stop, come back, get busy with school, have to stop. And then like right outside of college, it was like no job for a while, then job, constantly working a little bit. And so I just recently started it again, but primarily it's kind of gaming content at the moment. I've dabbled with the idea of maybe doing some sort of review style of thing, but I feel like there's so much of it out there already that it's kind of like oversaturated. Like why add another Marvel Legend or Black Series or Halo Mega Construct reviewer to a scene that already has a lot of those anyways? So it's like, even though gaming's oversaturated too, but yeah, so gaming primarily. Right now, it's kind of a lot of podcasts. Me and a friend of mine and someone Nate knows as well. His name's Andrew. We do Pokemon podcast every Thursday usually, and that's kind of like the main stuff I got going on while I try to decide what I want to jump into. I've been thinking about doing content for Ark Survival Evolved, open world survival dinosaur game. Other than that, streaming on Twitch, that has been on pause just because of like the household I'm in. It's very loud, very hard to get like the microphone settings just right and not pick up random crazy background noise. And you can't just tell your family stop living your life, be quiet. So streaming just like happens. It's just like whenever I'm feeling it, and a lot of it's solo, so it's really hard to, I guess, build up those ideas and get the motivation to do something solo, because it's a lot harder to bounce like things off yourself. Whereas you two, for example, have like that like co-op dynamic where you could kind of, if you were playing a game, you have an easier time to bounce things off each other, like comedy aspects and other things, where it's harder to do that solo. So doing that motivation is pretty hard.
Okay, I added your channel link to the description of the stream, and then I also just put it in the chat. So if anyone wants to check out David's channel, Wolfstalker25, link is in the description now. If you refresh it, of course, and then I also just put it in the chat.
Nice. And real quick, we did just hit 6,000 subscribers. So it happened right at the end of the stream, but we just got 6,000 subs. So thank you so much for 6,000 subscribers. I'm glad we came in clutch right at the end. Right at the end, we hit 6K. So
thanks so much, guys.
Thank you for everyone. Thank you, David. And thank you, David K. and Manny and Zane. Thank you, everyone. Infernal Hippo. I mean, it's all you guys. Obviously, you know, without you guys watching, we probably wouldn't be doing this. And it's been a long time because we've been doing YouTube since 2015.
Right.
So it's nice that we've also, you know, finally at this point we are starting to, you know, go up a little bit in the world. So thank you so much for 6,000 subscribers. It really
it was like 2017, right? It was with your Rogue One Steelbook video. That's the first time we ever got like some crazy amount of views, and then we were just like, you know what? Let's take this seriously. Let's start doing it, and then just over the years we've consolidated our content, and it really took off. Like I want to say like end of 2018, 2019, and then 2020. It was a lot of growth in 2020, probably because of COVID, quarantining, and everything. But it's been an absolute journey. We're not burnt out on it. We've gotten burnt out on other things, but our motto is that out of the basement never dies. Like no matter what, we always, no matter what we're feeling, we want to put something out.
That is true.
You guys have a nice
badass figures.
Of like, there's not a lot of Black Series reviewers I've noticed though, or at least a lot of like in-depth reviewers with them. So you guys have a nice like niche little thing right there.
Yeah, it's certainly. I mean, it's the only way to gain some traction on YouTube is to find a niche. That's why, like, you know, I mean, no offense to anyone out there, but that's why, like, doing gaming content, it's very, very hard to gain any traction on that because it's just it's oversaturated.
Especially variety gaming, like that's probably the hardest thing, and then especially if you're like on Twitch trying to stream and grow your audience there only. You're like, if you're playing like games like Call of Duty, good luck. You're never gonna get seen unless you play in like a tournament or with a big streamer and you get exposed that way, because it's just not gonna happen. Well, you gotta be insanely good at the game or funny.
Yeah, for sure. Infernal Hippo says, road to 10K, we can do it, boys. I agree.
Yes.
I agree. That's like my next realistic goal is 10K. I feel like I always say this, but I'm never fulfilled. Like when we hit 1K, I was like, that's my goal to where I'll feel fulfilled. And then it was 5K. Now it's 10K.
Right. It keeps growing, but I think that's what keeps us motivated too. And keeps us releasing content, because we've at least put out one video a week for I want to say almost like 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
We've uploaded at least one video a week, which
Figure
is
it out.
great. Yeah.
Figure it out. We haven't missed an episode of Figure It Out a week for like maybe the past 2 years by now, maybe more.
Yeah. Ever since we started doing it and releasing it weekly, yeah, we haven't missed a single week, I don't think. So, yeah, thank you so much. What a great way to end the stream. And of course, we wish everyone a happy Easter. Stay safe. Enjoy time with your family safely, of course. Unless you're vaccinated, then hey.
Yeah, we're up. We're now eligible.
They're coming.
Yeah.
Nate.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
David.
so again, thank you everyone. Thank you, David, for joining us on the stream. It's always
Yeah, of course.
great to talk to you. And I knew you'd be down for some toy talk, so I was like, I gotta get David on the stream.
Dude, I have no one to talk toys with, action figures, anything. It's such a hard hobby for some people to get into. Like we kind of talked about, like a lot of people don't see it like socially acceptable, or they're just like, I'm grown up, I don't need toys or action figures. And so it's just like having a group of people to talk to that about is really cool. But yeah, thanks for having me on here. It's super fun. I think we've talked to you about it before, Nate, but if you ever want to hop on the gotta cast them all Pokemon thing and give some hot takes on Pokemon, you are always welcome.
So I could be the resident grumpy old man and say everything new sucks.
I have Andrew on there already. I already have a resident grumpy old man, so
Everything new is crap.
I mean, hey, that gives perfect talking points. I mean, you could do the same. Like that's the thing when you look at any of these series, Halo, Pokemon, Star Wars, any of these things, like you kind of look at them and you're like, obviously the newer stuff always gets hated for some weird reason. I guess because it deviates from the classics and people don't like that.
Absolutely.
Especially,
and I'm guilty.
So, but I mean, yeah, like you could say that for anything, but it's always cool because it gives that like dynamic and debate. Then you get like with stuff like that, where you get the people like me. Like I'm also a diehard fan of Reach, and I defend it to the end, saying that it's a good game and the story is one of the best. But like I'm still a defender of Halo 4. Like I'm like it's not bad. Leave 343 alone. They're doing the best that they can. So it's not as much for Star Wars because they hurt that a little bit. But Mandalorian's helping.
Right.
Yeah.
They're definitely fixing problems.
And I'm sure Bad Batch will also help ease the pain because
I can't wait for Bad Batch.
Yeah.
1 month exactly.
Do we know like a length on it? Like how many episodes is it? Do you guys know? Or have they just not said?
The only thing I've heard is that the first episode is 70 minutes long, which is going to be dope.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Why can't they do that for like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier? Where's my 70 minutes of those?
That last episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, that was like 50 minutes. That's
not enough. Not enough. I want more. I want each of these 3 hours. Give me mini movies.
Give you all Snyder cuts every episode.
Oh,
I do have one mini question for you guys though, and I know you guys want the battle droid, the B2, the super. Do you guys think it's going to be a problem with how skinny those legs are with that massive upper body? Do you think they'll do you think people will be accepting of bigger legs just to support that monster of a figure that's probably going to be a deluxe?
I feel like they could just make the joints more stiff, like make them really sturdy, and perhaps, I mean, I don't know how they do it, but just make the legs and the joints really, really stiff, really sturdy.
That's
and then
like
you probably have a problem with like loose joints. But
it's like my most wanted figure at the moment. I just don't know why they haven't done it yet, and I'm sure it's design reasons because that thing is just a monstrosity when it comes to probably getting it to stand.
Yeah, and same thing with like the Destroyer droid. Like the design of that figure would probably just be crazy.
The anatomy on a lot of the Star Wars droids is not the best.
Yeah.
Especially the prequel era.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So, final thoughts? Anyone?
I think I'm good. I think we've covered everything I wanted to talk about.
All right.
I've had fun. This was a good stream. I think we peaked at like maybe 55 viewers.
Nice.
So that's
Nice.
fun.
All righty. Well, we'll go ahead and end it here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. Of course, join us next week. Same time, same place. Probably another Hangout stream. We don't have a guest lined up for next week, but so it'll either just be me and Justin, or we might have another guest with us. It depends. We might shop around a little bit and see who's available.
Yeah.
But of course, if you enjoyed the stream, don't forget to leave a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Again, thank you so much for 6,000 subscribers. It means the literal world to us. So I'll have a Qui-Gon Jinn review here, either posted Monday or Tuesday. Just depends on the time I have to edit the video. So yeah, stay on the lookout for that. If you haven't checked out my Boba Fett review, check that out as well. So of course, I'm Nate. I've been joined with Justin.
Later, guys.
And David.
See ya. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on, David. And we will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time.